401-444-4444.
Visit the new 4,000 square foot Cumberland Kitchen and Bath Showroom on Mendon Road, transforming a house into a home. Your home, CumberlandKitchen.com.
Hi, this is CJ and Beth with Moss Home Solutions, Rhode Island and Massachusetts' #1 cash home buyer.
Don't let the winter turn your home sale into a hot mess. Moss Home Solutions is here to save the day and your sanity. We buy houses quickly, in as-is condition, for cash.
Yes, you heard that right. We don't care if it's a fixer-upper, turnkey, or a total teardown. We'll take it off your hands.
And with the winter just around the corner, don't risk coming home to a flooded mess from those dreaded burst pipes.
Sell before the snowflakes start falling and the pipes start bursting. Moss Home Solutions makes selling your home a breeze.
No realtors, no fees, no sitting on the market praying for a miracle. Just a quick cash offer and a fresh start.
Don't wait till it's too late. Contact Moss Home Solutions today.
And remember, we want to buy more.
401-326-2626 or visit MossHomeSolutions.com.
Again, MossHomeSolutions.com at 401-326-2626.
Prescription products require completion of an online consultation with an independent healthcare provider and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Additional restrictions apply. See website for more details and safety information.
Is Cialis Daily really better than Viagra?
If you like spontaneity.
All right, guys, we're up in 2 minutes. Okay.
So when the mood strikes, you're ready to go.
I felt like a young man again. My wife is definitely much happier. When you take it, you're ready to go.
Does Cialis Daily last longer than Viagra?
Guys are raving that the results last even longer.
My partner thinks that I am a rock star because it is effective.
I say I'm on a second honeymoon.
It's literally life-changing.
Are 30-day sample packs available?
You can now access a 30-day sample pack at TryRexMD.com with generics at just $1 per tablet, if appropriate. Online approval at TryRexMD.com is simple, with medication delivered direct to your door. There's no copay, no doctor office visit, and your shipping is always free. Visit TryRexMD.com to get your sample pack. That's TryRexMD.com.
When you're hiring, ZipRecruiter's technology makes finding qualified candidates for your job easy. What if the rest of the world was as easy as ZipRecruiter? Math problems wouldn't be so problematic.
K equals 42.
And summiting Everest would be a walk in the
Who's
park.
the starting lineup tonight? Did they give you that yet?
Yeah.
In the meantime, if you want to make your hiring easier, use ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Attention landlords.
Oh,
Call Sampson Realty to rent your property. Call 454-5454 or visit our website at SampsonRealty.com.
Let's go, Friars! WPRO!
On the Providence Friars Sports Network from Learfield, this is Providence Friars basketball, brought to you by Haxton's Liquors, always the best prices since 1933. Santander Bank, the official bank of Providence College. Hanush Jewelers, experience something different. Delta Dental of Rhode Island, our mission is to see you smile. Rhode Island Public Transit Authority. Ride RIPTA and help fight climate change, one bus at a time. Visit trytransitri.com for details. And by your Audi Warwick dealer, proud sponsors of Providence College Athletics. Now to courtside. This is
Tonight, we welcome you into the Amica Mutual Pavilion in downtown Providence, Rhode Island for Providence Friar basketball. The start of the 98th season of varsity basketball at Providence College, the little school that could on Smith Hill. And it is an opener for 2024 and 25 against Central Connecticut State University. John Rooke, along with Joe Hassett, we're back together for our 36th season together here as voices of the Friars. And it's safe to say, Joe, that this year is one of great anticipation for the guys out on the floor under year 2 with Kim English as head coach.
Yeah, Kim restocked the barrel, as you would say. And, you looked at last year, I'm looking at this lineup that they have now and thinking last year Kim only had 8 guys he could utilize and basically use the same starting lineup all year.
Right.
But this year you're probably going to see multiple different starting lineups because he has so many different personnel that he can utilize. And unfortunately, you've had like 5 or 6 guys hurt a lot of this preseason getting ready. So you can see like the difference in the timing that you still have. You got the big guy out still, Kreese there, who's not going to start in this ball game. But finally Jaden Pierre looks like he's going to be in the lineup tonight. He's missed some time in practice, and Barron's missed some time, and of course, the star player is not going to be in there, Bryce Hopkins. So, it's you got to mix and match, but you got some personnel that you can do it with. Corey Floyd has had a terrific preseason. I mean, he has been great in practice. He's physical. He's stronger than he was last year, and he's got 2 years under his belt now, so he's a veteran guy. So it'll be interesting what kind of mix and match Coach Ingles does with this unit out here. And they're going to play a team tonight that's not bad. I mean, they're picked first in their conference. They have four seniors starting on the floor with one junior, and their best player is a fifth-year senior. So when you have good players who are veterans, you got to be worried about those guys.
Well, the one thing that we did learn about this Providence team in their exhibition win over UMass about 9 days ago is that this team is long, it is tall, it is also deeper than it has been in several years here. They're going to rely on a little bit of that length and certainly a lot of that depth here early. Bryce Hopkins is not expected to play tonight.
Well, he's not going to play for a while probably. He looks good in practice. He's not playing the scrimmages, but he does the drills, so he doesn't have any knee brace on, so he's feeling comfortable with that. And hopefully he gets back, maybe get back a little bit sooner than he would like to. But we'll see what happens. But, I look at this team, though, John, the key with the Kim English team is he wants shooters. He wants guys shooting three-pointers. He wants the ball up the floor in 5, 6, 7 seconds. You get the first good look that you see from the perimeter and make threes. And, you got some guys out here that can shoot the three, but we'll find out if they can shoot the three in games.
Well, that's the biggest issue. And one of the big issues we recognized last year during the 21-14 campaign that saw the Friars go to the end and lose in a first-round NIT game to Boston College. Last time, of course, that we did this officially, is that this team needed more perimeter shooting. They think that they've addressed it. Time will only tell if that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, they need, obviously, you just mentioned, John, need some shooting guys that can make shots, but they have a point guard in Pierre who can shoot that three-point. He shot 50% his freshman year from three, so he's a guy who can make the shot. Bensley Joseph is a really good point guard. We mentioned a 50th senior. Well, Providence has a 50th senior in Joseph. Played for Miami a couple of years. Has been in the NCAA tournament. Played in the tough ACC. So he's a veteran guy. He's a tough kid. He can make the outside shot when he's open. He's not going to give you a steady diet of threes. He's kind of streaky. But, he'll find the three-point shooters, and they got to be able to make shots. Cadet is going to have to be a guy Cardette's going to have to be a guy to make three-pointers. Barron, we know he can shoot the three. We'll see if he's progressed. And Fernandez is a guy who sat out all last year, and see if he's played himself into some minutes where he can make some shots. And Abdul Rahim, the big kid from Georgia, he's a good shooter. He's 6'8". So Coach Ingles will have a lot of options to put out on the floor for three-point land.
Going to be a lot of options. And, of course, you've been talking a little about the size as well. I think that's the other big issue. Not only did they need better shooting, they needed better size in order to compete in the Big East Conference. And when you've got 2 7-footers and a 6'10" bouncy freshman, that may be one of the bounciest freshmen you've ever seen play basketball, and I'm kid you not on that one. Yeah, you've got size.
You do, and you mentioned him, John Oswin. He's a terrific freshman. I mean, I mentioned in the last ball game, it looks like he's playing on the 8-foot hoop. I mean, he really gets up to the glass. They find him on alley-oops. He's got a lot of energy. He blocks shots. I mean, he's going to be a good shot blocker as well. And just the presence of him back there, when the guys come to the basket, they worry about getting their shot blocked. I like to see him, remember when John Thompson and Patrick Ewing told him, try to block the first 3 shots of the game. And even if you get goaltending, I don't care, because the rest of the game, they'll worry about going to the basket. Well, this kid Oswin has that kind of ability to block shots. Not a great shooter. Then after that, you got the big guy Kreist, who's been hurt most of the time, but he's a big body. He's 7 feet. And he's a sophomore now. He's had 2 good years of college basketball. So they have good size. And Bonk inside, he's 7 feet 2. He's a monster. But he's more of a project, but I think he's getting better and better every day in practice.
That's part of it. You want bodies. You want to be able to put bodies on people. It's going to be physical for the long haul, and you want to test yourself. There are 5 games for the Friars to go before they get to the Bahamas later this month and play in the Battle for Atlantis against some unbelievable competition down there. You started off tonight against a team that's preseason picked to win the Northeast Conference. So this is potentially an NCAA tournament team the Friars are facing tonight. So, forget about the ratings. We know what all the nets and all the, the schematics, we know what they all say. It doesn't mean as much unless, of course, you get a W to start.
Oh, absolutely. And again, I mentioned already, there's a veteran team, the Central Connecticut team. They were picked preseason, like you mentioned, John, by the coaches in that league. And they're a team that won 9 road games last year, 6 in conference. So they're one of 25 teams that won 9 road games last year. So we know how important road games are, and they're tough to win. This team goes on the road and is able to do it, and they're all back, most of these guys. So they're a veteran team. They've been through a lot of tough games themselves. The competition isn't as good in that conference, obviously, as the Big East, but they're a team that knows how to win, and you got to come out here and respect them.
They won 7 of 9 to end the year last year. Were upset in their conference semifinals. Otherwise, they likely would have been in the NCAA tournament. But this is a team, Joe, that went 20-11 a year ago. That is double the number of wins they had in the previous 2 years combined.
Well, the coach there, he likes to shoot three-pointers. You know, they've led the league 3 times and 10 times in that league shooting three-pointers. So he comes down, he looks for threes. They spread the floor. They can get out there, and that opens up the middle a little bit. They don't have a lot of size. Their biggest guy is 6'8". So what they try to do is spread the floor and make you extend the defense where they can get open looks to three-pointers and have open lanes to the basket. So they know how to play the game, new style of game with the three-point shot.
Friar fans will probably remember the name Patrick Sellers. He's the fourth-year head coach at CCSU. He spent a long time on the bench at UConn under Jim Calhoun for starters. He played his college ball at Central Connecticut, and the last time the Friars lost to a Northeast Conference school was in 1999. This is very early in Tim Welsh's tenure here. And Central Connecticut beat the Friars 54-50 in here on this floor.
Yeah, you know, this is a school that gets a lot of UConn guys to go coach there. Howie Dickerman was there forever, and he was an assistant coach for Jim Calhoun as well. But, you know, you got to be ready every night. You know, have upsets. That's what the NCAA tournament is so much fun to watch. But early on in the year, when you're still figuring out combinations, sometimes nothing's going right, and you can get upset by a team that's all fired up to come again, play against you in the Big East.
All right, so you got the Friars and you got the Blue Devils tonight from Central Connecticut, the season opener for 2024 and 25. We'll talk about the matchups with the head coach of the Friars, Kim English, coming up next. From Learfield, this is Providence Friar basketball.
Was Howie Dickerman? He might have been the coach then when they beat.
I think he was that year.
Family of
they won, yeah.
And the incredible Finnegan family for being phenomenal partners. Finetco embodies an elite mindset.
You know, Patrick,
in every
Patrick
project they
Meade
undertake.
died,
It's
you know,
about
over in
seizing the
Germany.
moment, just
You
like
met
on the
him,
court.
you met him,
With
Patrick
3
Meade,
convenient
big
locations
PC
across
guy. He used to
Rhode
buy
Island,
4
Connecticut,
foursomes
and
at every
Really?
golf
Any
tournament. You know,
home
10,000 a
improvement or
foursome.
building
Great
needs,
guy.
call
I played with him a couple times. I played him in Newport with him this year. Went over to Germany and had a heart attack and never really recovered from it.
Oh, that's awful.
Great guy. I mean, I'm stunned by it.
Zero
That's
sugar.
terrible.
Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles.
Patty
Imagine
Meade.
it tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp. Refreshing. And ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
At Audi Warwick,
Two of the same crew we had in the exhibition game. Gaffney and the other guy.
With our cutting-edge e-tron electric lineup. Craving performance? Test drive our exhilarating S and RS models today. Over 75 new Audi vehicles are in stock and ready to drive home now. Experience our award-winning service with complimentary loaner vehicles and on-site roadside assistance within 30 minutes. Audi Warwick is a proud recipient of the prestigious Audi Magna Award for the past decade, and we've also been named one of Automotive News' best dealerships to work for in 2024. Visit Audi Warwick or go to AudiWarwick.com.
Welcome and back inside the AMP. It is time to visit with the head coach of the Friars, Kim English. I'm John Rooke. Season opener tonight, Providence, Central Connecticut State University. You know, Coach, the one question that I think that I really wanted to ask you tonight was, what did you take from year one as head coach of the Friars that you feel like you could best apply as you get ready to start year two?
Yeah, well, hopefully, you know, we address some issues with our depth. You know, hopefully we have more players this year. We know we have more players that, you know, withstanding an injury or two won't kill us. You know, and just, you know, as it relates to last season's team, we just have to be more efficient. Our defense was good enough to win us.
Put fans there.
Games, our offense has to take a step up and be more efficient on that end of the floor.
You obviously played the game at a very high level, both in collegiate ranks and the pros, but I'm wondering if you learned anything about the game and the way it's played today, especially in a league like the Big East, that might have affected your way of thinking or your strategy or anything along those lines.
No. Basketball is basketball. Games played no differently than it was at Tennessee or George Mason or Colorado or Missouri. Good players, good coaches, take good shots, limit bad ones, and, defend as best you can and rebound it.
So let's talk about these guys that you have. Your team, at least from the looks of the UMass game, you look deeper. You look long. You definitely got size. How do you put all these pieces in place? And will we see you experiment maybe a little bit with combinations early in the year until you find the right mix?
Yeah, that kind of happens organically. We track all that data, see which groups play well together from a plus-minus standpoint, from an efficiency standpoint, point per possession standpoint, offensive rating standpoint, defensive rating. There are a lot of different lineups that can have success in different reasons. But no, we're trying to be the best versions of ourselves, right out the gate against the team we have a ton of respect for. These guys look really good on film. Nate did a good job preparing our guys for this one, and excited to see our group hook it up for the first time for real.
Okay, let's talk about health. How healthy are you?
Good. A couple guys on minute restrictions, Jaden, Rich, Jabri. Bryce won't play tonight, but he's inching closer and closer. And so we'll have more bodies than we've had most of preseason, which will be good.
And then tell us about Central Connecticut. Obviously, Coach Sellers did a superb job last season. They won a piece of the title. The preseason picked the first in the NEC as well, so potential NCAA tournament team.
Yeah, absolutely. Right on the brink of it last season, ended up getting upset in the conference tournament, but he's done a great job. And in this day and age and era that he's had this much retention, this amount of seniors, guys that have been in the program, just hats off to him. Kudos, this team that played together for a while. Abdul Momo, Jaden Brown, Joe Trowski, Jordan Jones, these guys been together. So, we're going to have to be the best version of ourselves tonight.
Coach, let's go get it. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year. Yes, sir.
Coach Kim English,
What do you want to do for the matchup?
Previewing the Central Connecticut.
Well, their leading scorer is the guard, right?
From Learfield.
Yeah.
So have to put Joseph on him. That'd be the good matchup.
This is News Talk 99.7 FM and AM 630 WPRO, Providence, a Cumulus station.
At Balanced Wealth Management, we believe in the power of legacy and family values. Founded by Robert O'Clair, a professor at Providence College for over 35 years, our team at Balanced Wealth understands the importance of understanding and collaboration when it comes to your financial future. With our dedication and expertise, we're here to empower you to make informed decisions, ensuring a balanced and secure financial future. Call us today, 401-398-2000, for a free written financial plan. Balanced Wealth Management, guiding your path to financial success.
Shopping at Manouche Jewelers literally offers you a world of
Hey,
opportunities.
what's up, man?
As a direct diamond
Doing all right?
Manouche features quality
Good.
jewels from across the globe, which allows them to offer better jewelry at lower prices. And with world-class mountains by Topori, Verragio, Gabriel, and others, we're always just one step away from owning the perfect piece of jewelry.
up?
Or there's another way. Working with our award-winning custom design team, you can create a beautiful, one-of-a-kind piece using jewels from Manouche or existing stones you may already own. Imagine your old-style family jewelry repurposed into beautiful modern-day designs, bringing a deeper meaning to any ring, bracelet, earrings, or necklace you wear. And at Manouche, you'll always pay less than you'd expect for top-quality, beautiful jewelry. Manouche Jewelers, a family jeweler for your family. In darkness, just your look and come back.
Okay. John and Joe back inside the amp. We are minutes away from the tip-off tonight. Should come just after 7:10, 7:15 because of the wraparound national television coverage on FS1 and Fox Sports tonight. And so there'll be some look-ins at all of the games around the Big East Conference tonight, as this is the opening night for college basketball across the country. It is a full slate of games. It's an exciting time to have an opening night to the sport. Friars will be right in the smack dab middle of it. Time now for our Midland Roofing pregame Protect This House matchup of the game. And, Joe, I think we started the backcourt of this one because Jordan Jones is the young man that Central Connecticut is going to feature a lot. He's a leading returning scorer, preseason first team all-conference. He made second team all-league a year ago. It's going to start and probably end with him, and so it'll be up to the Friars to slow him down.
Yeah, they'll probably put Bentley Joseph on him to start because he's the point guard matching up with him. But this year, I think when you have a key player in the backcourt or at the 3 spot, you're going to have Corey Floyd play them because Corey's probably the best on-ball defender this year. But I'm looking for Bensley Joseph to take that assignment tonight on Jordan Jones. Should be a pretty good matchup.
All right, so we've got the Friars and we've got the Central Connecticut Blue Devils in this game. You know, the Friars are going to be playing a lot of different players tonight. Time for a little bit more, I guess, of a look at what, the Friars will be doing here. We know that they're going to be focused to play defense. They've got length. They've got size. They've got some depth. The only depth that we don't expect tonight on the floor would be Bryce Hopkins. There are limited minutes available, we were told, for potentially Chris DeSantico, who's the transfer from St. Joseph's, and the young man that we anticipated be getting a lot of time in the middle for the Friars this season. Rich Barron as well, coming off the shoulder surgery that he had off of his Big East All-Rookie season last year. Limited minutes for him potentially for tonight as well. Jabri Abdur-Rahim. So you've got guys here that can figure into it. It just may take them some time to get into it.
Well, you got to get healthy. You're not healthy, you're not going to play. And with all the bodies the Friars have this year, if somebody's healthy and they're out there playing well, you might not get in the ball game if you don't get healthy right away. So, I'm sure they're all chomping at the bit to get out there and get in that plan, get in the lineup. But you can't play if you're not feeling well or if you got nagging injuries. And you want to be ready, obviously, for these home games here, but you want to be ready for the Atlantis Classic because that's a lot of good, solid teams down there. And then you have the Big East Championship, Big East Conference starting right after that. So it's going to be guys got to get healthy, John, to be able to get in the minutes.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of, like you said, there's a lot of people that want to see these guys play. They want to see what this team has. They're anxious to see it. There's a lot of hype here. Okay, we understand that. But at the same time, you've got to look at this as a long haul for 31 games.
Oh, hey, this game's count. Everything counts right now. And Friars have a bunch of home games here they got to take advantage of. And they want to go out there and get into a rhythm, get into a situation where as a player you want to get into the rotation. Guys played himself definitely into that rotation. When you think about all the bodies out there, is Corey Floyd. I mean, I've gone to practice a number of times, and Corey Floyd has looked better than anybody in practice every single day. I mean, he doesn't have a day off. I mean, he goes out there and he plays hard every minute of the day. He shot the ball pretty well in exhibition season. I don't see a steady diet of great shooting from him, but he's going to make open shots when he gets them this year. And he gives you that physical presence, and he's a defensive stalwart out there. He can guard people, and he's very physical. So he's a guy he's played himself into minutes where you thought all the new guys coming in, he might be pushed aside a little bit, but I think Corey Floyd right now has been the guy who's been playing the best ball.
All right, so Corey Floyd's been playing the best ball, and he had a great game, had 19 points in that UMass exhibition win 9 days ago. You got to find other guys that can do it. And he's built this team. Kim has built this team, and he talked a little about this in his pregame interview. He has built this team to hopefully withstand a lot of the cold spells, because when you lose a guy like the Big East Player of the Year in Devin Carter, and we haven't even mentioned him yet, but all he did was win Player of the Year in the Big East and get drafted in the first round by the Sacramento Kings in the NBA. You lose somebody of that caliber, sometimes you have a tendency to look for his ghost out on the floor, and you don't have that this year. Other guys got to fill it in.
Well, you think about Carter last year, John. Bryce Hopkins was picked for preseason Player of the Year, one of the finalists for that, and he didn't even get to play.
Right.
And Carter comes out of nowhere and becomes the Big East Player of the Year. So somebody else could step up in that role this year. We had a kid named Eric Murdoch, wasn't picked on all first team, all Big East, 3 teams they used to pick back in the old days. He wasn't on any of those teams. Top 15 guys in the league, he wasn't on any of them. Became first team All-American and a top 10 first-round draft pick in the NBA. So you got guys on the bench here who are guys who showed up here who might show up and be a lot better than you think they are. And they had good summers, and they developed themselves into solid players. So somebody will rise to the occasion. Kim will give you the minutes. I mean, if you're out there and you're making shots and you're doing what you're supposed to do, you're going to play.
What's a good result tonight besides a win?
I think the chemistry of getting guys to play with one another. You get, it usually takes some time to do that in games, but you got a lot of new guys on the floor, and a lot of new roles. I mean, who's the go-to guy this year? Who are you going to go to? I mean, who's the guy who's going to get a big shot to? You're going to go inside to somebody. You have to figure out who's going to get the ball in key situations, who's going to stop people in key situations. All that was settled last year, halfway through the year. Devin Carter was the go-to guy, and he was their best defensive player. That was simple. Who's it going to be this year on both sides of the ball?
Well, as we said earlier, this is the 98th season of varsity basketball at Providence College, the smallest Division I school among high major teams in the country. Providence is 86-11 all time in season openers in their previous 97 years, which is a pretty doggone good record. Home openers, 89-8. It's rare that they lose the home opener.
Well, let's face it, the home openers, a lot of them are cream puffs too, and you always play at home. So, home opener, you win a home game. But you also get a schedule where you're playing somebody you want to get into a rhythm of the season, not playing a tough conference game, the first game of the year, right, John? So, but, you got to come out and you got to be prepared, because in today's day and age, of more than any, there's so many new players on opposite teams, and you've got veteran teams. But we already mentioned this Central Connecticut team has been together for a while, so they play together. They know how to win, and you got Friars have talent, but you got a lot of new guys trying to fix and mix and match, and who's going to be in there at the right time. So it'll be interesting to see, and you like to play these games early to figure it out.
Last 14 years, Providence is 104-6 against non-conference teams here inside the AMP. That is a home court advantage. We'll see it happen here coming up in just a couple of moments. Providence College basketball is back from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball. I'm just going to stare. You get replays on that? Women's game, yeah.
This time we ask that you bow your heads in a moment of silence to remember America's legacy. Now please remain standing and join our players, coaches, and officials in honoring America and celebrating its freedom. Performing our national anthem tonight is Shannon Flannery.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed as the twilight whose frost sails bright stars through
College basketball is back, baby. Welcome to opening night across the country. NCAA Division I basketball tonight here at the Amica Mutual Pavilion in downtown Providence, Rhode Island. The Providence Friars and the Central Connecticut State Blue Devils. And hi again, everyone. I'm John Rooke, along with Joe Hassett. Friars were 21-14 a year ago, 10-10 in the Big East. CCSU was 20-11, 13-3 in the Northeast Conference, tied for first with Merrimack, and lost in the semifinals of their conference tournament, but they are the defending regular season NEC champion. Let's take a look at the starting lineups presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Rhode Island. Forward, Central Connecticut under Patrick Sellers in his fourth year as head coach, a 1991 graduate of CCSU. He played a longtime assistant at UMass, UConn, Hofstra, Creighton, DePaul. Fairleigh Dickinson, Fairfield. Man, the guy's been all over the place, but he's got quite the track record. His starting lineup goes like this. Jordan Jones, 6-foot senior out of Florence, South Carolina. Preseason first-team All-NEC, averaged 13 points per game a year ago. Jaden Brown, 6'8 senior from Providence, Rhode Island. 8.5 points, 4.7 rebounds last year. Abdul Momo, 6'7 senior from Carteret, New Jersey. 4.2 points per game last year. Joe Ostrowski, a 6-foot senior guard out of Mount Pleasant, Michigan, returning 4.3 rebounds a year ago. And then Darren Smith, a 6'7" redshirt freshman from Springfield, Massachusetts, will get the start as well on the wing for Central Connecticut. For the Friars, this is their 10th meeting all time between themselves, their program, and the Blue Devils of Central Connecticut. Friars lead the series 7 wins to 2 for CCSU. The last win for Central Connecticut, we mentioned this in the pregame, was 54-50. They beat the Friars here on this floor back on December the 21st of 1999. Since that time, these two teams have played 5 times, and the Friars have won all 5 of those. Friars are also 31-6 all time against schools in the NEC.
You know, John, you think about the starting lineup of this Friar team. It's totally different from what last year. You know, Corey Floyd. I keep thinking of the story when he came to Providence and he was first recruited. They said, you know, I don't know if I have any place for you. Coach said, and he said, well, I'll make a place for me. And you know, he has played himself into where he's the starting lineup right now to start this season.
It's an impressive story, to be honest with you. You know, his kid's kind of stuck with it, had some ups and downs early. He's developed into a guy that the Friars really can't do without.
And he's a physical guy. I mean, he's put on some muscle. You know, he's fast. And, you know, I'm a big Jaden Pierre fan to begin with on top of that. And Jaden was hurt a little bit, but he's going to give him that dynamic in the backcourt where he's a veteran point guard now. He can make 3-point shots, and that's a great combination to have when you have your point guard who can shoot too. So that's 2 guys back from last year's team. And the rest of the guys, you know, they're going to learn on the fly here. You got a freshman center starting in this one. You got Cadet, who played at Chicago State last year, and Bensley Joseph, who will fit in nicely because, you know, he's a veteran guard, 50th senior from the University of Miami. He's played in a lot of NCAA tournament games, played for a former Friar in Larinaga, like to spread the floor, fire up some threes. So he's a guy that gives you a lot of experience out there. So when you're a good college basketball team, John, you need to have good guards. And the Friars have 2 good point guards, and one of them can really shoot it in Jaden Pierre. So that's a nice combination. The rest of the guys will fill in as you go along.
Friars are dressed in the home white uniforms tonight. Black numerals, black trim, silver lining around the numerals. The black numerals on the white uniforms. Central Connecticut in the road royal blue uniforms, white lettering, white numerals, and white trim. John Gaffney, Nathan Farrell, and Ed Corliss, the Big East officiating crew. The opening tap won by the Friars, and they will go basket to our right on the radio here in half number 1. And with the basketball is Bensley Joseph. He's going to take it over to the left side, forecourt to our right on the radio. Up high with it. Now back to the left for Joseph. The dribble penetration comes to the right side for Floyd in front of the Central Connecticut bench. Floyd dribbles back to the left on the perimeter, down to the left side, finds Jaden Pierre. Pierre gets to the top of the key, backs it up now for Arunse with 4 to shoot. Now finds Joseph again. Right side for Floyd's got to go up with it at the buzzer. He will not get it off, even though he made the shot. The Friars do not score.
Good defense by Central Connecticut right there. I mean, shut the Friars down for 30 seconds. Friars just did a little bit too much dribbling on that offensive set.
Yep. Got the open shot. Just came a little too late. So Central Connecticut will have their first possession. They go basket to our left on the radio here in half number 1. Man-to-man defense for the Friars. With it out front is Ostrowski, the senior point guard. He's guarded by Pierre. Cuts back to the right side. Ostrowski has the ball in the middle and finds Momo. Momo left wing for Jaden Brown. No good. Long rebound taken down by Joseph. Now Joseph comes back up to the right side with it. Comes to the near side. Goes to the top of the key. Stopped. Dumps it off down low. And Arunse wasn't looking for it. It was out of bounds.
Well, Joseph always looks for the big fella, Oswin. And Oswin has to keep his eye on the ball because when Joseph penetrates, he's going to do that.
And so it'll be Central Connecticut with the basketball after the Friar turnover. 2 turnovers in their first 2 possessions tonight. Ostrowski rolls around the screen, gets a free throw line jumper up and in. And Joe Ostrowski scores the first basket of the season for Central Connecticut.
Good pick and roll right there. Ostrowski's wide open, knocks on that foul line jumper.
Joseph up the right sideline to the top of the key, swings it left for Cardette on the sideline now for Floyd. Floyd between the circles, finds Pierre out front, takes it to the right, looks into the right corner, cross-court pass to Floyd, goes left, Cardette drives to the baseline, dumps it off for Arunse, who goes up and flushes.
Yeah, you get the ball inside the big fella. He makes the hoop look like it's 8 feet, John. He gets long and he can really leap.
Looked like the Friars were definitely trying to feed the big fella the ball early on that one. So 2-2 the score. Ostrowski breaking Friar pressure into the forecourt again, up the far side. Right sideline, comes off a double screen to the middle of the floor. Stops, comes left, and Jordan Jones touches it for the first time. Now Jones, guarded by Joseph, gets around the screen, gets to the free throw line, steps back, jumper up, got it, and got fouled. What a tough play by Jordan Jones.
Good shot there by Jones. He's a lefty as well. As Pierre's going again, I mean, Joseph on there that time. He got up on that left-handed shot, but he still made the shot and picks up the foul.
Yep, so Bensley Joseph picks up the foul. Jordan Jones will go to the foul line. Senior from Florence, South Carolina, transfer from Division II Coker University in Hartsville, South Carolina.
There's so many good players out there. You know, he's at Division II, and he comes in and he's leading scorer on a Division I team now.
And his free throw is in and out and actually got touched in.
Goaltending by
Arunse. So he gets credit for the one.
That'd be fine in Europe. You can go up there and knock it off the rim.
Knock it off the rim, right? So it's 5-2 for Central Connecticut. 17:52 to go in the opening half. Friars with the ball, high post for Arunse. Goes left for Joseph. Joseph drives down to the left baseline. Back out front now for Cardette. Cardette left flat, jab steps now to the top of the key. Pierre swings it right on the perimeter for Floyd. Now he gets dribble penetration down low, gets his body position, turn around, jumper, score.
See, he didn't do that last year. He dribble into the paint, penetrate, and then stop and look to pass. That one there, he elevated and took the shot. Good move.
Had a physical matchup advantage against his man Ostrowski on that one. Inside the paint, driving with it is Momo. Abdul Momo cut off by Arunse in the paint. Lobs it back out front for Ostrowski. Ostrowski now drives to the left in front of Kim English. Cuts to the right, drives to the right, gets down low, looks to get it out, back out front. Long, deep three is well short by McGrone. And the rebound taken by Ostrowski in the offensive glass and saved back out front for Jones. So that was a problem against UMass 9 days ago, was the lack of defensive rebounding. And there's Cardette with a reach-in foul on Jones. And he picks up a cheap one there.
Well, he played such good defense in the first set there with the shot clock winding down. Then you don't get the offensive rebound. It was a tough shot as well, but keep playing that type of defense. What it does is wears down the opposition. So the Friars have a lot of bodies they can throw out there to play that kind of D.
Arunse comes out of the game, and here's our first look at Christ Isandiko, the 7-foot, 290-pound redshirt sophomore transfer from St. Joseph's. He's into the game for the first time. Central inbounds the ball, fresh 20 on the clock. They've got a 5-4 lead. Ostrowski drives past Pierre, gets to the left side foul line, top of the key for Momo, swings it right for Jones. Jones with around Joseph, gets to the foul line again, bounces on the give and go, lost it, but picked up underneath. Momo flips it up, goes off the rim, and a foul is called on Isandiko in the middle.
Well, they ran up the big guy right there. Nice little pick and roll there. But, you look at Central Connecticut, they're a solid veteran team. They don't get rattled by physical play or noise.
Nope.
They keep using that screen, and Jordan comes off that screen. If he's got an open look, he shoots it, and you have to get out on him. But the big guys know when they set it, they roll to the basket, and he'll find them.
Momo, only a 36% foul shooter a year ago for Central, misses the first one.
Yeah, how can he be 36%?
He averaged 4 points and 4 rebounds per game.
36%. You go up there blindfolded and make 3 out of 10. Come on.
He was 7th in the NEC in blocked shots a year ago. His team preseason picked for first in the Northeast Conference. 2 starters back, 6 newcomers on this team from a year ago that won 20 games. The second shot rattles and stays for his first point of the season. And a 6-4 Blue Devil lead. 16.5 to go in the opening half here at the AMP for the season. Top of the key for Cardette. Looks for a screen. Waits for Sandico. Slides to the left of that. Passes back to the right side. Pierre on the right sideline now for Joseph. Feeds the high post for Sandico. Hands off to Pierre. Curling to the left. Got a tip from behind and taken away. Good hands in the paint there by Central Connecticut defensively. Ostrowski comes around a top screen. Holds the ball. Lobs it back out front. And finds Jaden Brown. Brown goes up for a jumper. Off the rim. No good. And the rebound is tipped. Loose on the floor. Central comes up with it. Floyd goes to the floor with it. And we're going to have a held ball as Corey Floyd and Abdul Momo tie up in front of the Friar bench.
Well, Kreese got to get that rebound. Corey Floyd battled inside to get the loose one. Dove on the floor and gets it.
Got a timeout on the floor with 15:55 to go in the opening half and a slow start for the Friars on offense. Central Connecticut leads it 6-4. From Learfield, this is Providence Friar basketball.
Thanks.
Well, that was nice of him. John and Joe back inside the AMP. 15:55 to go in the opening half. Slow start for the Friars. Time now for the Dave's Marketplace fresh take of the game. What's your early take here?
Well, Friars playing good defense, but they're not able to get the offensive rebound on defensive rebounds. Central Connecticut has 2 offensive rebounds and 2 rebounds total, so they're getting second shot opportunities. And the Friars, when they come off those screens, Cardette has to come off those screens and catch and shoot. I haven't seen a guy other than Fernandez who comes off a screen and can catch the ball and shoot it. Seems like everybody on the Friars, when they come off a screen, they have to bounce the ball. You have to be able to come off that screen shoulder to shoulder, raise up and take a jumper. Cardette looked like it could be that kind of guy, but he has yet to pull the trigger. I thought Kim Ingles was upset with him on a couple of possessions there where he came off the screen, open at the top of the key, and didn't pull the trigger. So he's got to be able to pull the trigger on that, especially when you have a coach who wants you to take that shot right away.
So on the jump ball, held ball, the possession arrow belongs to CCSU. They'll keep the ball left end of the floor here, 20 on the shot clock, with a 6-4 lead over the Friars. Jordan Jones looks for the inbounds pass to the baseline, lobs it out front for Momo. Momo now has the ball back out front for Jones, and Jabri Abdur-Rahim checks in for his first appearance. And the jumper by Jones is up short, and there's Hassan to go with the rebound. Pushing into the forecourt is Joseph. Takes it right down the middle of the lane. Dumps it off in the right corner. Jabri for 3.
He's a good shooter. You see how he squared up? He caught the ball and shot. He didn't have to put the ball on the floor. He's one of those guys who can catch and shoot. And Joseph puts a lot of heat on the defense on a fast break, John. He gets to the basket.
35% shooter from three last year at Georgia, and he has the Friars with their first lead of the season. Top of the key with it is Jaden Brown, a native of Providence. Free throw line elbow to Momo. Back to Brown, drives down to the right post, wraps around and scores.
Good move there by Brown. He got by Raheem that time. He's got to get on that baseline, not let him turn the corner.
Gives Central the lead again at 8-7. Up high with it is Isandako. 2 dribbles toward the top of the key. Goes left for Raheem. Now finds Joseph between the circles at the point. Crosses over, penetrates back to Jabri. Fakes the 3. Penetrates left into the left flat, 15 feet away. Lobs it back out front for Floyd. Swings it to the right side for Rich Barron, who's also checked into the game for the first time, coming off of his shoulder surgery from late last year. Backdoor from Isandako to Bensley Joseph for the wraparound lay-in.
Good pass by the big fella right there over the shoulder of the defender, and Joseph just picks up a foul there in the backcourt, John.
Cheapy in the backcourt by Bensley Joseph.
That's his second.
Yeah, picked up his second one early with 14:36 to go, and that will bring Joseph out of the game and bring in Justin Fernandez, the redshirt sophomore from Richmond, Virginia, who is also the George Mason transfer that sat out all of last year with an ACL tear.
Well, this is the time of the game, too, John. We have no point guard on the game. And now that's why Corey Floyd's been that backup point guard. Now he's going to have to play the point here.
With the ball is Jones driving left on Abdur Rahim, but he goes up against 6'8". Bounces to Momo, kicks the ball right. Jumper up right side of the foul line is no good by Devin Head, and the Friars grab the rebound, and then it gets tipped away from behind, and the ball is picked up by Devontae Sweatman. Sweatman for Central Connecticut, back out front now for Jordan Jones. Friars just a little lackadaisical with the ball as they get the ball up the floor. Momo high post to Sweatman, drives to the right, throws up the floater, gets it short, Floyd. And the rebound for Abdur Rahim. Now here's Corey Floyd with the dribble and the drive into the forecourt right, angles to the right, high post to Sandico, back to Corey in front of the CCSU bench. Floyd drives the lane, leans in with the left hand, lifts it up, won't get it.
Foul.
Got contact, didn't get the call.
That was a good move by Corey right there. Got inside the big guy. I thought he was fouling that play.
Jones into the forecourt right, comes off of the screen, goes down the lane left side, throws it up over his head and over his Sandico to put it in.
So he creases up more of a center up there. He's not a shot blocker where Oswin would have blocked that shot.
5 for Jones, and it gives Central the lead again at 10-9. Fernandez swings it right. Floyd drives right to the hoop, got it knocked out of his hands, out of bounds. It'll be Providence ball with 14 to shoot.
What does Corey have to do to get a foul? He took that one strong to the basket. Somebody reached in, knocked the ball out of bounds, but also bumped him on the way.
Jabri Abdur Rahim checks out of the game. The Friars will bring Wesley Cardette back in. 14 to shoot, 13:09 on the game clock. Friars down 1. Baseline right, lob out to Isandako and a whistle. Kim English with the mock clap for the foul.
That's the first team foul. That's first team foul in Central Connecticut, John, in 7 minutes.
A hold called on Darren Smith before the ball can get inbounded. And that's the first foul, as you said, on them, 4 on the Friars thus far. They'll inbound with the baseline again to Asandako at the top of the key. Bounces right to Cardette. Goes right back to Crease. Fakes the 3. Drives left. And then he throws the ball away. He drove to the hip. He tried to hit Corey in the lane. He just threw it away.
Well, he's trying to put a little sugar on that one. You know, you got to stop and throw a good pass to Corey. Corey was wide open.
So a turnover again for the Friars.
Well, Crease hasn't played a lot, so he's kind of rusty out there. Didn't play in the first game either. He hasn't practiced much at all.
That's 5 turnovers in the first 7 minutes of this ballgame. Jones drives it to the right side out in the midcourt circle against Cardette. Drives to the right, goes down the right side of the lane, scoops it up high and throws it up over the backboard.
Good defense by Cardette right there against Jones, who's their best player. He took away the left hand and forced him into a bad shot.
Let's see if the Friars can figure out a way to hold on to the possession and get off a shot right now. They're 4 of 5 shooting the ball, but they got 5 turnovers.
Yeah, you know, you have both point guards on the bench right now. Corey Floyd is running the show out there.
Well, we got Jaden Pierre with limited minutes and Bensley Joseph already in foul trouble. Between the circles is Sandico. Goes left for Cardette on the wing. Man-to-man defense for Central. On the left side, 15 feet away. Sandico backs his way in. Gets one for the lane. Spins to the outside. Goes up, lays it in, scores and fouled.
Yep.
Big move by Priest.
Old school bully ball right there by Priest as he Kept backing his man down, handled the ball very well, felt the contact, little spin move, little pump fake, gets the shot off and the foul.
Foul is called on Jaden Brown, his first, team's second. And Asandiko will get to go to the line to try for a three the hard way. Floyd will get his first blow here.
Corey Floyd's like the Swiss Army knife for this team this year, John.
No question.
Going to play that point guard position. Has to play the 3 spot, the 2 spot.
Pierre comes back in. Rich Barron also re-enters for the Friars as Asandiko will go to the line. Shot 65% from the line at St. Joseph's. 50% from the floor and averaging better than 8 points and nearly 6 rebounds per game. And that free throw rattles in and out. But there's a lane violation. Or is there a foul?
Lane violation.
Lane violation. He's going to get another shot at it.
Sandigo gets his sea legs, as we say, John. He hasn't been practicing it. I haven't seen him practice yet, and I've been up there a number of times.
Right.
So, I mean, once he gets into game shape, it looks like he's got a good feel for the game.
That one bounces too strong, no good. Friars lead at 11-10, 12-15 to go in the opening half. Central with the basketball. Again, coming basket to our left on the radio here from the AMP. In half number 1, Ostrowski back in at point. High post to Momo. Hands off Ostrowski. Drives to the right. Gives it back to Momo in the lane. It's stolen. Picked up by Pierre. Pierre leads the break up the middle. Dumps it off to Barron, who drives right side. Got his shot blocked. No foul call. Back the other way comes Central with it. Devin Head drives, throws up the runner, scores from the right side.
Well, Barron didn't get the call because he lost control of the ball on the way to the basket.
First basket for Devin Head, a junior transfer. And Central back up by 1. And the ball is thrown away again, picked up by Ostrowski. Bounce pass left with it. On the left wing is Smith. Devin Smith in front of the Friar bench, pulls it back out front, finds Ostrowski, goes cross court. And that's Devontae Sweatman, a senior from Boston. On the high post, Momo, Abdul Momo, 6'7" senior, drives on Fernandez, dumps it off for Sweatman in the lane, kicks it off left corner, blocked out of bounds. Couldn't get the shot off, and
Jaden Pierre flying out of nowhere.
Swatted that one by Darren Smith right out of bounds. We got a timeout on the floor with 11:17 to go in the opening half. And Central Connecticut right now battling the Friars every step of the way. It's 12-11 from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball. Jesus, 6 turnovers.
Thanks, man.
Providence College Friar basketball brought to you in part by Finetco, a family of lumberyards.
Well, Friars, John, you mentioned a number of times already in the first half. Friars with just too many turnovers. They have as many turnovers as shots in the ball game. Friars are 5 for 7 from the floor, which sounds terrific, but they have 6 turnovers. Just 1 turnover for Central Connecticut. So Central Connecticut doing a pretty good job of handling the ball against that Friar pressure, but having a tough time making shots. Central Connecticut is just 5 for 13 from the floor, 0 for 3 from three-point range. The pace of the game is very quick. I think the Friars are just a little ahead of themselves. They're probably tired of practicing against one another, so they get to play against somebody else. They're a little excited out there.
Now, it's pretty clear to see what those turnovers mean because Central has taken 6 more shots than the Friars. Providence has 6 turnovers.
Right, that's the 6 turnovers we just mentioned, and that's like, and then Central Connecticut has those 3 steals, and you just can't keep turning the ball over, not giving yourself opportunities, because when the Friars have an opportunity to shoot the ball, they're 5 for 7 from the floor. So that'll get better. They're not going to keep turning the ball over. A lot of combinations so far for Coach Ingles. He's had all different guys in the ball game. 10 guys have played so far in this game. He's trying to find somebody out there with a rhythm.
Central has the ball, 7 to shoot, 11-17 to go on the game clock. 6'9" junior Brody Limerick, the tallest player on this Central team, has checked into the game for the first time. The ball will be inbounded to our left by Devin Head. Head looks with Asandiko in front of his face, got it tipped, and the ball is intercepted and then knocked out of bounds by Jabri Abdur-Rahim. But from behind, Ostrowski tipped it, and the ball will be Providence's.
Well, it looked like the Providence Friars had the play already designed against Central Connecticut right there. They couldn't have nobody out open on that play.
The Friars have a chance to retake the lead as Jaden Pierre runs it at the point.
Little zone right now for Central Connecticut.
Comes to Fernandez, jump pass to Cardette on the left wing.
Oh, man,
and then he throws the ball away, and it's picked up by Central. To the right side of Ostrowski. 7 turnovers for the Friars here in the half. Man alive.
No turnover's a good one, but that was just awful against the zone. It just threw it away on the top of the key.
Limerick on the high post. Holds the ball high, drives to the right. Dumps it back out to Ostrowski. 11 to shoot. Ostrowski gets a screen, drives to the right sideline. Cut off by Cardette. Lob pass back to the left side here for Smith. Jumper is up, no good. Abdur-Rahim with the rebound. Now for Pierre. Pierre, right side into the forecourt for Jabri. Stops off the top.
It's wide open. Give it to him.
Goes back to the left side. Pierre weaves into the middle. Stops, pops for 3. Nope, can't get it. Rebound tipped up, no good. Loose on the floor. Picked up by Cardette. Out to Jabri for 3. Missed that one. And the rebound tapped out again further. Chased down and taken by Pierre at the mid-floor line. Now gets back to Jabri. Top of the key, Cardette. Back to Abdur-Rahim. Back to Cardette again. Top of the key. He's got the 3. And he banks it in.
Well, he's kind of reluctant to shoot it. He's a shooting guard, and he's reluctant to shoot. That's not a good combination. Got to shoot the ball.
Makes his first Friar basket a 3 and gives Providence a 14-12 lead. Ostrowski drives, lays it up, scores over Jaden Pierre. High off the glass from the left side for Joe Ostrowski.
Ostrowski's pretty good. I mean, he's out there getting around those screens. It gets into the paint. Nice little floater right there.
And we're tied at 14 with 9:33 to go in the first half. Central Connecticut, defending regular season Northeast Conference champs. They're here to play. And the ball is bobbled by Asandiko, picked up in the corner by Cardette, and he stepped out of bounds.
Well, Friars are too lazy with the ball, obviously.
Man.
Cardette is like, he thinks he's playing in a rec game right now. That ball's precious. He threw a bad pass into the big fella crease. He threw it too high, and he couldn't catch the ball inside. That's got to get a little bit more focused out there on the offensive end.
Oswin Arunse checks back in. So does Bensley Joseph, who picked up 2 early fouls. So you've got Joseph, Cardette, Arunse, Abdur-Rahim, and Floyd, the Friar 5 out on the floor right now. Sweatman comes off the screen. Free throw line jumper is up. It's short. Loose ball rebound, and there's Abdur-Rahim with it again. Here's Floyd now in control into the forecourt right. He'll go left to Joseph. Fakes the deep 3. Penetrates off the screen. Passes back to the left wing for Cardette. He flashes. He drives. Loses the ball in the paint. Loose on the floor. Scramble for it. Central goes to the floor and picks it up. Up the floor for Jones. Jordan Jones up the right sideline. Stopped by Abdur-Rahim. Now penetrates into the lane. Swings around. Turnaround jumper. Good.
Good move there by Jones. I mean, he's left-handed. He got into the paint. A little pump fake. Got Friars up in the end. A little fall away. Knocks it in.
He's got 7. And Central is back in the lead by a deuce at 16-14. Here is Joseph driving the lane. Goes left side. Floyd for 3. Short. And a rebound is controlled by Jaden Brown. Now for Jordan Jones into the forecourt on the right wing again. Up high with it to Momo. Abdul Momo checked back in. Gives it off. Spinning to the right side is Sweatman. Sweatman, 5'8" point guard to the top of the key again for Jones. Now finds Brown. Brown takes around to dribble to the right side off of the screen. Goes up. Missed the shot. Rebound. And Runset.
Osmond can rebound in there, I'll tell you that.
Here comes Floyd driving right as it slipped away from behind and stolen again. Can these guys hold on to the ball this season? Up front with it. Top of the key. Left wing for Brown. Brown back out front. And he'll find Devin Head. Head, junior transfer from Notre Dame College, Division II in Ohio. Top of the key for Momo. Back to Jones. Jones gets around the screen. Jump step in the lane. Lays it up. Scores. Gets fouled by Arunse.
Jones is the best player on the floor right here.
He is.
On both ends. I mean, he's finishing at the rim. He got to say something to the bench there.
He just let the Friar bench know he's the best player out on the floor. We got a timeout with 7:38 to go in the half. Central Connecticut is playing ball. They lead at 18-14. Timeout from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball. Ten turnovers. 10 turnovers.
And bad ones. I mean, no turnover is good, but
what in the hell?
They can't even catch the ball. They're throwing it up in the air. They're too lackadaisical with the ball. Cardette's got to be more serious out there on the offensive end. He's just too lackadaisical. He thinks he's playing in a rec center somewhere.
The Hot Potato Food Truck, a proud partner of PC Athletics. For your next event, call the Hot Potato Food Truck, 401-919-3009. Turnovers,
Yeah,
not hot potatoes.
Yeah.
Turnovers, they're the story.
Yeah, Friars treating that ball like a hot potato. I mean, 10 turnovers is ridiculous. And some of them have just been so bad. I mean, just simple passes. The Friars aren't being very urgent with the ball on the offensive end. They're very lackadaisical with their passes, and they're getting to the basket and not taking it strong, going up with two hands. And Central Connecticut's in there slapping it away and getting down the floor. And then Mr. Jordan has done a terrific job of finishing Jordan Jones there with 9 minutes of plays, 4 for 6 from the floor with 9 points. And he's been great out there running his team as well. They're getting out rebounded by the Friars 10-7, but 3 of their rebounds are offensive rebounds by Central Connecticut. And they lack size too, John. The biggest guy is 6'8". So right now the Central Connecticut showing their veteran experience out there on the floor. They don't turn the ball over. They only had 2 turnovers of 10 for the Friars.
Blue Devils on a 6-0 run. Friars have turned it over 5 times in the last 4 minutes. And as a result, they've gone scoreless in the last 2.5 minutes. At the line, Jordan Jones. Free throw is no good, and the rebound tipped in the corner and stolen. And what do we have?
Jump ball.
Jump ball. Joseph and Momo. And the possession arrow belongs to Providence. Now, that ball was right in Arunse's hands, and he couldn't handle it.
Well, you got concentration levels. Got to get better out there. You should never lose a rebound off a free throw. That's for sure.
6-0 run for Central Connecticut, and they have the lead at 18-14. Friars with the ball. Rich Barron back in the game. Justin Fernandez in as well. Joseph, top of the key, drives to the right side. Quick pass back to the left for Pierre. Out on the perimeter, goes to the left side for Fernandez. Fernandez comes off the screen. Sweatman guarding him for Central. Gets a high screen set by Oswin. Penetrates into the lane, stops, turns around. Out to Joseph, starts left, goes to the right. Comes up to Barron. Barron drives right down to the baseline with 3, with 2, with 1. Fernandez at the buzzer. Nope, can't get the 3.
Good
and the rebound
defense.
ripped away by Jaden Brown.
Central Connecticut on doing a good job defensively. They got a shot clock violation against the Friars, and that was down to 1.
Taking them all the way down to the end, making the Friars work the clock. They are playing well. Momo with the ball at the top of the key with it. Turns and looks, waits for someone to come get him. Nobody's guarding him. 2 dribbles to the left, a handoff to Jones, curls around the screen, gets into the lane, dumps it off to Momo down low. He tried to go up on Oswin, turns around, high off the glass, no good, but he can't get the rebound. Out of bounds, though. The Blue Devils with the ball. It'll be Providence ball.
Say, Jones is a pain out there for this Friar team. He's one of the smallest guys on the team. Almost got that rebound there, but Oswin does a good job defensively, John, of being a presence, blocking shots. Guys are worrying about taking it up against him. That was a perfect example right there. Good D.
Devin Head, 6'5" junior from Ohio, is checked back in. Friars with it, still down 18-14 with 6.5 to go in the first half. Up high with it is Oswald. Goes left now. Joseph, catch and shoot three. Nope, off the rim. The Friars have suddenly gone cold from the floor when they can get a shot off at all. Brown, right side, drives on Barron, goes hard to the post, lays it up, won't get it. Blocking foul called on the Friars in the paint. And it's called on Barron.
Well, Barron didn't get over the screen in time. The Friars try to fight over screens. They don't go underneath. And if you don't get over the top of the screen, the offensive player is going to turn the corner, and you got to get back in front of him. Friars don't like the double team. Brown knows it, gets to the basket, gets to the foul line.
Jaden Brown, 72% last year for Central Connecticut, misses the first one. The native of Providence prepped at the Tilton School in New Hampshire, where his brother also prepped and ended up playing college basketball at Pitt. Friars just 1 for their last 7 from the floor. Wasanda go back in, and Oswin goes to the bench. 1 more for Jaden Brown. Averaged 8.5 points per game last year for the Blue Devils, and the second shot in and out. No good. Wasanda go with the rebound.
Free throws.
Yep, early in the year, they can be problematic. Right now, it's keeping the Friars in the game, although Providence is 0 for 1 from the line. Joseph has it out between the circles. Quick pass to Sonico. Puts it on the floor. He drives. He gets fouled from behind.
Good move there by the big fella. Central Connecticut went to the zone that time, John. The Friars flashed him in the middle. Crease is going to be a guy that has a good feel for the game.
So it's on Brown, the foul, his first.
I like what Central Connecticut's doing defensively, too. They come down man-to-man a couple times, then they go to zone, try to change the tempo of the game.
Yep. They changed the foul, actually. Yep, no, Brown's got his second foul. All right, here comes the inbounds pass to Sondico. Up high with it, Joseph. Joseph touches to Sondico, coming off Fernandez's screen, puts up the three, short to the left. And the rebound for Head. Friars just not able to connect now from three. They're 2 for 8 from three after hitting the first 2 of the night. Momo on the high post with it. 2 dribbles toward the left, toward the Providence bench. A handoff. Fernandez goes to the floor looking for the steal. Saves the ball from going out of bounds into the backcourt. Loose up the sideline. It goes out of bounds, and it is off of Providence. Right in front of head coach Patrick Sellers.
I think everybody on the Friar team hit the floor on that loose ball, but you like to see that. Good defense right there.
So it still will remain Central Connecticut's ball. 5:37 to go in the half. And the Blue Devils 13 on the shot clock have to inbound in the backcourt. Friars have hit just 1 of their last 8. And it's still a 6-0 Blue Devils run over the last 4+ minutes of this game.
Well, neither team's doing the job offensively, John. It's just 18-14 with 5.5 minutes to go here in the first half.
Friars have not scored in 4.5 minutes. Driving right is Jones. Step back, elbow jumper, good.
He's the best player on the floor. I mean, and he continues to be. Good move right there.
He's got 11 of their 20 points on the board. They've got their largest lead at 6. The Sondico fakes, drives in traffic. Left corner, Fernandez for 3. Nope. Rebound for Sondico. Saves it, kicks it out to the right side for Cardette. Cardette in front of the Blue Devils bench, drives to the baseline, kicks it all the way through, reverses out to Joseph for 3. Got one.
Good extra pass right there. Good rebound by the crease that time. Friars get a second shot opportunity. Get a wide open look.
Joseph hits it, got 5 in the game. Friars down 3. Momo top of the key for Central. Stops, looks, wants to go left. Now looks to the right, goes off the right sideline for Ostrowski. Curls around, gets a shot blocked from behind, out of bounds by Fernandez. Blue Devils will keep it with 14 to shoot. Here comes Corey Floyd back in for Rich Barron.
Well, the defense for the Friars has been decent. I mean, they're challenging every shot. The only guy who's getting to go anything out there is Jones for Central Connecticut, but Friars are making them work on the defensive end. There's just too many turnovers so far on the offensive end.
Jones will inbound, baseline to the right of the basket. Lobs it out on the perimeter to Momo, right in front of Sondico. Now hands off for Devin Head. He gets around Bensley Joseph, drives to the left, throws up the runner at the foul line. Nope, no good. Rebound tip, saved by Fernandez. Fernandez has it in the middle of the floor, loses the dribble, picks it up, goes to the floor, out of bounds. A foul is called on Ostrowski, going after the loose ball. Wow.
Coach Engel's not happy with Fernandez that time. He's got the ball, he's dribbling, and it goes through his legs to try to beat the defense. He says, pass the ball up. He had 2 guys in front of you.
Yeah, that's been part of the problem on these turnovers is too much dribbling. That's fortunate. Ostrowski picked up the foul. That's just the fourth team foul on Central. So the Friars will get a bit of a break here after it looked like the Blue Devils were going to snag another turnover.
See, the Friars are just too ahead of themselves. They got to just relax a little bit. They're playing hard, but you got to pace yourself.
Sandico, give and go to Cardette, bobbles it in the lane, falls to the floor, scoots out, Fernandez saves it. Driving is Floyd, cuts off at the right baseline, and a foul is called as he faked it down on the right block. Oh, we got some words underneath the basket.
Well, Corey Floyd's taken to the basket about 5 times, and it's only the 15th foul for Central Connecticut, but he's been whacked out there a number of times, but Corey keeps his composure out there. He's been fouled a number of times his whole career, that's for sure.
Darren Smith picks up his second foul. Team foul 5, as Joe said, so Friars will inbound for the baseline out to Sandico, the free throw line. Top of the key now for Floyd, swings it right for Fernandez. Fernandez shakes off his defender, drives to the right, tries to dump the pass off. Got it blocked, but picks it back up again. 10 to shoot. Deep three, Corey Floyd, nope. Rebound taken in the paint and controlled by James Jones, a 6'6" freshman into the game for the first time for Central. No relation to Jordan Jones, who drives the lane, meets Sandico, puts it up, and a foul is called on Jaden Pierre, says referee Nathan Farrell, who got him from behind on his drive to the basket.
Well, Kim Ingles thought he was going to call the foul on Priest because he went straight up, but he felt that Pierre pushed him into him. That's where the foul was called.
We got a timeout with 3:51 to go in the half. 20-17, Central Connecticut with the lead from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball. Man.
Thanks.
Wow. Janney Montgomery Scott helps clients connect their life and their finances. Janney Montgomery Scott, LLC, member, NYSE, FINRA, and SIPC. Central Connecticut State, preseason number 1 team in the NEC, defending regular season champs. They're giving the Friars all they want here in the first half with a 3-point lead.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing a good job, Central Connecticut, of mixing up their defenses, playing man-to-man a few times, then switch to zone. And the Friars just turning the ball over too much. The 10 turnovers, well, at least the last time out to this time out, there were no turnovers so far in that stretch, but you just can't keep turning the ball over the way the Friars are doing. And the decision-making on the offensive end has been a little bit suspect. And that's what you get when you have new guys out there trying to fit in. Wesley Cardette, I mean, he's a guy who has the mentality to score, but he's only taken 1 shot in the game, and he's had some open looks. He's got to look at the basket. You know, you got Bensley Joseph, who's doing a good job out there distributing the ball, but Corey Floyd's just 1 for 4 from the floor, but he's giving them all the other intangibles you have out there. They're just not shooting the ball very well and not getting good shots either. Friars are just 7 for 17 from the floor.
Jordan Jones at the foul line, and the lefty hits the free throw. That's his 12th point of the first half, 12 of the 21 that the Blue Devils had. He averaged 13.1 per game a year ago. Preseason first team All-NEC this year. Potential player of the year candidate in the Northeast Conference. And he hits both free throws.
There's a better player in that conference than this kid. I'd like to see him. But, now here comes Central Connecticut now with a 3/4 court press. I mean, so they've switched up defenses a lot.
Pierre into the forecourt left. Jabri Abdur-Rahim back in. Gives the ball back out front now for Pierre. And Central now in his zone. Between the circles, Pierre works to the left side. Stops, looks to the middle. Nothing there on the wing. Jabri for three. Missed it. Got fouled. Brody Limerick, the 6'9 junior from Glastonbury, Connecticut, ran right into him. And it's probably a good thing because that ball didn't hit rim.
Well, that's a bad foul too, John, because the Friars looked like they didn't know what they wanted to run right there. And, that Noosa's type of 3/4 court press, what that does is it makes you take some time off the shot clock. Now you're looking around, you think you're going to play against man and you're going to get to zone, and all of a sudden there's 14 seconds on the shot clock. And Rahim takes a 30-footer there, and he gets bailed out with the foul, and he knocks the first free throw down. But I like what Central Connecticut's doing is they're trying to mix things up and not let the Friars get any kind of rhythm. Friars just can't get any rhythm going on the offensive end.
Smart defensively. Abdur-Rahim hits the second one. He was an 88% foul shooter last year at Georgia, where he averaged 12.2 points per game.
Oh, he's a good shooter. We saw him down at Bahama.
Yep, we did.
When he's open, he usually makes the shot.
And his third shot is nothing but net. He's got 6.5.
That's why he shoots 88% from the foul line. He's open right there.
Cuts the deficit to 2, 22-20. 3:29 to go in the opening half. And Jordan Jones controls it right to left into the forecourt here for Central Connecticut. Brings it up to the left side, picked up by Corey Floyd. High screen, rolls to the right of that to the top of the key. Steps back on Asandiko, wants to drive in the big fella, gets around him to the rim, lays it up, missed the shot. Ball got tipped away and fouled from behind by Devin Head, who took the ball away from Corey Floyd, but the foul is called on Head for the reach-in.
I didn't hear the whistle there. Gaffney was underneath the basket. I mean, these guys reach in a lot for the ball, and they're getting away with it, so why not keep doing it?
And that's the 17th foul. So the Friars will go to the line to shoot 1-and-1 here with 3:12 to go in the half, and Corey Floyd will get to go to the foul line. Corey, 2 points in the night, averaged 4.8 off of the bench a year ago, was a 69% free throw shooter last season for the Friars. As a team, they shot just a tick under 72% at the line as he hits this one.
It's 4 in a row from the foul line for the Friars. When they're struggling offensively, like to knock down those free throws. Corey's going to be a good rebounder for this team, even though he doesn't have great size. He's always has his nose in the paint.
That upper body, Joe. Second shot is good, and we're tied at 22.
He's the strongest guy in this team right now.
3:12 to go. Pressure a little bit in the backcourt. Man pressure by the Friars. They'll allow Sweatman at the point for Central to bring it into the forecourt to the right sideline. Picked up by Cardette. Left-handed dribble out between the circles, comes around the screen, weaves in traffic, back out to Jones, who's guarded by Floyd. Top of the key for Momo. Now back to Sweatman, almost taken away by Cardette. He thought he had the steal and a whistle. Wow. Cardette called for the foul. That's his second.
Well, the ball was up for grabs. The official felt, I guess, that he reached in there. And
18th foul will put Devontae Sweatman shooting 1-and-1 for Central. 5'8" senior from Boston who prepped at Lawrence Academy. The former Boston City League All-Star in high school hoops. Shot 87% from the line last season for the Blue Devils.
You don't see that much, John. The Friars had an 88% free throw shooter on the line last time down there. Now you have an 87% shooter on the line right now.
Hits the first one as Rich Barron checks back in, and Cardette with 2 fouls will come to the bench. And Devontae Sweatman had 9 games started a year ago for the Blue Devils. Nails both his first 2 points of the ball game, and Central back up a deuce. We're under 3 minutes to play in the opening half. Pierre has it on the right side. Handoff for Barron between the circles for Asandiko. Abdur-Rahim comes out to grab it, gives it back to Asandiko on the left post. Kicks the ball back out to Jabri, goes left for Corey. Corey now penetrates, gets down the lane, stops, wheels around with the left hand, off the rim, in and out. It won't stick. My goodness, what a great move, and the ball just wouldn't fall.
I like it, though. He's going to the basket trying to score, and that's what I like to do. He didn't do that last year.
Sweatman around the arc to the left side, reverses on Momo, gets to the foul line with a jumper up, no. Rebound is Sandiko. Now for Pierre. Pierre pushes into the forecourt right. Has it, cuts back to the left toward the top of the key, stops. Floyd, very little spacing there. Barron, left corner 3, short.
They got to find Raheem. He's got Sweat on him, who's like 5'5". Raheem's 6'8", and he's guarding him. To find him a shot.
Jones drives to the left side, cut over the foul line by Pierre. Step back jumper up,
Good
and air ball out of bounds.
Good D by Jaden Pierre right there. It was right on the shot clock, right on the shooting hand right there. But John, look at that matchup right now. You got Sweat number 3. He's 5'5" max. He's guarding Raheem.
He's 5'8" with the hairdo.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, look at it. I mean, your son Austin's sitting over here. He's not even close. I mean, they got to get the ball to Raheem.
Here's Pierre to the left side, goes to Corey Floyd into the post now for Asandiko. Asandiko works his way inside, and Momo spins to the inside, goes up, fake, drive, scores!
Oh, he's a big dude inside. I mean, he plays like a big NBA center in there. Nice little pump fake. He uses his body very well on the spin.
4 for Asandiko, ties the score at 24, 1:27 to go in the half. Momo on the high post for Central, hands off to Jones. Cuts to the left on Floyd, cuts back to the right around the screen, gets in the lane, jumper up off the rim. No, rebound pops free, taken by Pierre on the run. Pierre 1-on-2, loses the dribble, turns it over again. Devin Head up the floor, finds Jones, and he scores on an easy layup.
Friars have had like 5 turnovers on the fast break, getting the ball deflected from behind. I mean, what are you doing out there? You got to keep your head up and pass the ball to a teammate who's open.
12 turnovers in this half. Unbelievable. Friars with it, under a minute to go, down by 2 here in the first half. Pierre drives left, cut over the baseline. Asandiko for 3, air ball. And retrieved there by Central.
You keep doing those spin moves inside. We'll wait on those 3-pointers for a while.
Pass comes to the left wing, taken by Head. Tries to shake off Rich Barron right in front of the Friar bench to Momo at the foul line, and a whistle. And a timeout is called by Central. 33.6 seconds left, 18 on the shot clock. And Patrick Sellers will use the timeout called by his team out on the floor to discuss their play.
Well,
the turnovers are the story.
Yeah, turnover. And they're lackadaisical turnovers too, John. They've gotten the ball deflected on, dribbling the ball. I mean, if they... on a fast break, you always had a rule as a player. If there's somebody ahead of you, you pass them the ball. The ball travels faster than the dribble, and the defense will react to the ball. If you're dribbling down the middle and guys are recovering in the lanes, that's what they want you to do. They want you to dribble so they can deflect the dribble or deflect the pass, push it up the floor. But, I have a little rust. They haven't played. This is the second game of the year. Central Connecticut's a little bit sharper than the Friars right now, and that's the difference between being a team that's played together a long time. I mean, this is a team that, they don't have a lot of transfers over there. They've been playing together for 2 or 3 years, so they understand the system, and they've been playing together, where the Friars are trying to figure it out here with all the new guys on the floor. I mean, they have good size of Friars. They're supposed to have good shooters, but they're trying to get a rhythm into the game, and it hasn't worked so far. That's why they're turning the ball over.
So 18 to shoot, 33.6 left in the half. Central Connecticut with a 26-24 lead. Devin Head will inbound, transfer again from Notre Dame College, not university, Division II school in Ohio. Inbounds to James Jones, back out to Jordan Jones, no relation.
Friars turning with the zone after that timeout.
Sweatman on the right side. Friars in the zone, as Joe said. Back out to Jordan Jones, moves to the middle, the top of the key with 4, with 3, drive down inside with 2. It goes out of bounds. It's going to be Central ball with 1 tick left on the shot clock.
Well, you got to stay in front of everybody now. Watch the lob to the basket, but it's got to be a catch and shoot now. 1 second. If you watch the out of bounds play, it's going to be a lob to the basket, you probably think.
Sweatman's going to inbound. He's got 7-footer. Asandiko in front of him. Inbounds. Head gets off the shot right side and hit it, but the shot clock went off first.
They're going to check it, though. Gaffney goes over and says, we'll check it.
Yeah, I think he got it off late. But it still went in, didn't it?
How does he get an open look in the corner?
I don't know. How does that happen? I mean, it
has to be a catch and shoot. He can't catch and pump fake or anything like that. You got to be out there.
Well, it wasn't a clean catch and shoot. So they're going to come over to the official scoring table down far to our right. They've changed the configuration a little on the floor this year here at the AMP. They've actually added some NBA-style seats in between the scoring tables here, like they do in a lot of NBA arenas to, generate a little income. And so they're actually a little further down from us than we used to be.
Well, that was an issue early on in the game where everybody stands up for the first score, and they're
Right.
standing right in front of us.
So we had to get up and stand and call the
You
game.
got
on
up.
our
I'm
feet.
not getting up. I'll miss that part of the game.
Okay. Just fill me in, will you?
I'll watch the screen up top.
Yeah, that's probably the smarter way to do it, right? Just look at the scoreboard. So John Gaffney and Ed Corliss are checking the monitor to make sure that did or did not get off in time.
Oh, they're having a discussion.
They're having a discussion.
They didn't just wave it off right away. They're having to talk about it.
I got to remember, this is the season opener for the officials, too.
Yeah, but what's their excuse in December and January?
I didn't say anything. I left that to you. I'm not going there.
Yeah.
Call on the floor stands, no basket, says John Gaffney. Okay.
Not enough evidence to overturn the call.
I guess. So 15.6 on the clock. Friars have the last possession chance to tie or take the lead going into the locker room. Jabri Abdur-Rahim will inbound in the backcourt to our left.
Plenty of time to get a good shot here. Looks like Central Connecticut is going to stay in a
1-2-2.
1-2-2 half court.
Pierre spins into the forecourt, goes left for Barron with 9 seconds. As Sandaco has it in the lane. Right side, Abdur-Rahim for three. Off the rim. Rebound underneath for Barron. Goes back up, got it rejected into the corner and saved by Central. And the Blue Devils will take a lead over Providence at halftime, 26-24.
Well, tough stop for the Friars here in the first half with all those turnovers. That's what they'll talk about, I'm sure, at halftime. Friars are just a little rushing things out there, and they get those turnovers, and that affected their offensive flow.
26-24. Low scoring, mistake-filled. It is the opening night. Can they shake the jitters for the second half? Austin Rooke joins us for our halftime report. Get you up to date not only on the first half here with the stats, but also with action around college basketball on this opening night for 2024. That's coming up next from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball.
All right. Do we have any highlights from that first half? Let's do the three from Jabri. Yeah. Can you do a Jabri and then Creased after that? Yeah, I'll set them up. Thanks. Thank you. All good. Hey, so you're not going to have a read for me? No? All right. Jabri first, then Creased. Hey, it could be worse. Wisconsin down 17-5 to Holy Cross. Butler and Missouri State are tied. St. John's up 26. Xavier down 3. Brown up 4. All right. A tough start for the Friars to begin 2024-2025 as they trail here at the half on opening night, 26-24 against the Central Connecticut State Blue Devils. Austin Rooke with you here at halftime. A couple new additions to this Friar team. Popped a little bit in that first half. Jabri Abdur-Rahim led the Friars in scoring with 6 points. He had 3 from the line, and he had this one from downtown early. Six points in the first half for the Georgia transfer, Jabri Abdur-Rahim. One of those threes, it's one of 3 in the opening half for the Friars. They finished the opening frame. 3 of 14 from downtown, including 1 for their last 10 from beyond the line. So another new addition for the Friars joining the squad this year is Krista Stondiko. Didn't start the game coming off of injury, but did have this nice play in the first half with an and one. Well, the Friars only need, one more to fulfill the Holy Trinity. They've had God, now they have Christ. 4 points, 5 boards in the first half for the transfer from St. Joe's. But the Friars trail by a deuce here in the first half on opening night here in downtown Providence. Back with more here after this message from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball. That's gross. Yeah. First bucket of the season for the Seton Hall Pirates, Garway Duval. But he has 3 turnovers also. Hey, Butler's not playing much better. Under 16, down 3. They've got 14 turnovers themselves. Are you doing the disclaimer coming back like normal? Okay. Okay, sweet. Iona spanking Princeton. They won by 12, 49-37. That's gross. That's a final. Yeah. Go Dolphins. Tennessee Tech's beating Georgia. Texas Southern up 9-7 now. Bensley Joseph with that three. 2 of 3 from the field, 5 points in the opening half, and his Friar debut for the Miami transfer out of Arlington, Massachusetts. Bensley Joseph, 10 minutes in that first half, did have a pair of early fouls, but came back to nail that tray late in the first half. Let's take a trip around the Big East and a little bit of a local trip as well. A lot of action in the Big East tonight with Fox Sports 1 doing their whip around coverage. This one tipped off about 6:30 tonight. Butler with a narrow 47-45 lead with about 13 and a half minutes to go, and that one over Missouri State. In Queens, St. John's with a 76-48 lead with about 6.5 minutes to go in that one over the Fordham Rams. Seton Hall at home against St. Peter's in a New Jersey battle. Of course, Shaheen Holloway, former coach at St. Peter's, with a 31-20 lead. Seton Hall over the St. Peter's Peacocks. Old friend Garway Dual with the opening bucket for Seton Hall in that game. But a bit of a shocker early in the first half at Cintas in Cincinnati. Texas Southern was up by as many as 9 in the first half against the Muskies. They lead by 6, 33-27, with about 4 and change to go in the first half there. 2 local games tonight. The Rhody Rams taking on the Fairfield Stags at the Ryan Center. They lead it early on in the first half, 17-11. And Brown, with about 14 minutes to go at Siena, they trail by a point, 41-40. 14 minutes to go. They did lead at the half, 34-32. Those two teams had a game last year where it was tight until the end. Siena pulled out the win late. Couple other matchups to come in the Big East tonight. Marquette plays Stony Brook later on this evening. Villanova also playing Lafayette tonight. They have a 12-10 lead in the early going there at the Pavilion. So Southern Indiana later on will play DePaul. Lots of action going on across the Big East and across the nation tonight on this first night of college basketball in 2024-2025. But the Friars here against the CCSU Blue Devils. They trail by a pair, 26-24 here at the Amp. Second half action coming up next from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball.
Good job, good job.
So that Princeton game was not final. I don't know why Yahoo said.
They're still down. Iona's up. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's the best player out there.
John and Joe back inside the amp, getting ready for the second half to start. For the first half numbers, Joe, well, not great. There were officially 11 turnovers for the Friars in the first half. They out-rebounded Central Connecticut 19-17, shot 8 for 23 from the floor, that's 35%, and held Central to 10 for 28, also 35%. 3 of 14 from 3, Central was 0 for 4.
Yeah, the Friars did a better job in the second half of the second part of that first half, John. They had 10 turnovers halfway through the half, and they only had 1 the rest of the way, but then they start missing shots. I mean, just 8 for 23 is not good, and 3 for 14 from three-point range is not going to get it done either.
They made 5 of their first 7.
Yeah, so, I mean, they just cooled off significantly. So they need to turn up the offensive end.
Friars in the home white. Central is in the road royal blue. They've got the ball to start the second half. Their basket to our right on the radio. Brown comes off a screen. Jaden Brown leans in on their. The Friars get the loose ball, and then a foul from behind on Brown as Arunse actually had the rebound. It tipped from behind, and a quick foul called on Jaden Brown for Central Connecticut.
Arunse did a good job challenging that shot and getting the rebound, but again, Central Connecticut reached in from behind.
They were getting that all night.
They were getting away with that in the first half, and that's a cheap one right there.
So the Friars will get the ball 16 seconds deep into the second half. Basket to our left on the radio. Up on the high post is Arunse. Oswin, top of the key, hands off left. Bensley Joseph curls left, comes back to the right for Cardette. Cardette drives to the right baseline, kicks the ball back out to Joseph. Now back up to Corey Floyd. Pierre for 3 is off the mark. Long rebound down to Bensley. Steps back. He fires a 3. That's high off the iron. No good. Rebound out of bounds, and it is off of Cardette. It'll be Central ball.
Well, Friars just aren't making anything from the outside. Now that's 3 for 16 from three-point range.
You know, we were hoping this was going to be a better shooting team, but the first half of the first game of the season is any indication. Yikes.
Well, you know, you got that three-point shot. If it's not going, you got to try to get the ball inside, then go inside out. Try to get some scores in the paint.
Ostrowski drives the paint, dumps the ball back outside. Driving with it is Darren Smith. Fadeaway jumper's up. It's no good. And Arunse gets the rebound for the Friars. Now Joseph steps the tempo up, goes right to the rim, and gets fouled on the floor on his way to the basket, even though it was James Jones, a freshman from New Britain, Connecticut, who committed the foul.
Well, that's what Joseph does. He gets to the basket. Get him the ball on a fast break. He's a blur out there. And get the guys to fill the lane, and then Oswin gets those alley-oops when he gets that penetration going.
Friars inbounds to Oswin to the top of the key with it for Floyd. Floyd now finds Joseph in the lane. Stops back out front for Corey. Now comes left for Bensley. Benz gets the screen, drives to the left in front of his bench into the corner. Finds the ball in the post off of Arunse's leg. Not a good pass. And the ball is picked up by Jordan Jones, who led all scorers with 15 points in the first half, at 15 of Central's 26 on the board. And Jones Now finds Jones. No relation again. Top of the key with it. Momo drives down to the left, throws up the bank shot, and scores over Arunse.
Well, Oswald's got to put his hands up, man. He's 7 feet, 6'11" out there. He's got to put his hands up on that penetration.
And Central leads by 4. To the right side with it is Pierre. Off the top of the key, left for Joseph. Left side for Cardette. He got an open look at 3. No good. Off the back iron. Rebound by Pierre. But a whistle on the floor and a foul is called.
Call that on Pierre, I think.
Yep, for a push.
Oh, no.
No, it's on Floyd.
Floyd, so pushing off on the
first foul of the game on Corey Floyd.
Well, the Friars aren't getting anything to go from three-point range, so
they got to get the ball inside.
Well, you got to go to the basket, create something going to the hoop.
And there's a throwaway right there. Ball got stolen by Joseph on the sideline, but you had Darren Smith going one way. The ball went the other. He couldn't save it on the sideline.
Here's what I'm talking about, John, the pregame. Now who do you go to? I mean, the offense is struggling. You have to find somebody who can get a shot, get you a shot. And somebody on the Friars has to take that initiative. I think a guy like Pierre, he's got to say, hey, I got to go out there and get a score. He's only taking 2 shots in the game.
Joseph off a screen, comes left side for Pierre. Cardette in front of his bench, double team, pulls it out on the perimeter. Wants to take Ostrowski, top of the key to Arunse. Down to 7 to shoot. Gives it off to Corey for 3. Nope, can't get it. Rebound, Cardette bobbles it, tried to save it. Jones comes up with it. Friars 1 for their last 14 from 3. That's not getting it done. Here's Jones driving. Jordan Jones lost the ball off his leg, out of bounds. And there's quick hands by Arunse to cause that turnover.
Well, he's got to be effective out there in the defensive end all year. There's no question. Arunse, he's going to try to block shots, but you got to keep those hands up. He's going to come out now a bit. The big fella increased. Now, here's the guy that if you need a score now, you can go in the crease on the post. I mean, he's very effective in there, backing people in.
Floyd between the circles. Cardette hands off. Pierre now for Joseph. Feeds creased on the high posts. Turns and looks. Hands off to Pierre. Catch and shoot three-pointer.
There you go. That's only his 3rd shot. Pierre's got to think about shooting the ball. I used to yell at him all last year. I said, you got to shoot the ball. You're a good shooter. Take shots.
That's his first points of the ball game. The Friars are within 1. Momo, top of the key. Stands, 2 dribbles toward the left. Looks for the back door. Not there. Kicks the ball back out front for Jordan Jones. Gets around Floyd, works to the left side, fadeaway jumper up and in.
He's tough, that guy.
He's got 17. Right side for Corey Floyd. Out to Asandiko, who faked the deep 3. Hands off to Pierre, curls around the screen, slips to the floor, saves it over to Joseph. Right side for Cardette, back out front now for Joseph. Joseph, jab steps back. Deep 3 is on the way, off the iron, no good. Offensive rebound, Cardette goes back up, off the rim, that's no good. And Momo rebounds for Central.
Cardette's really struggling out there. He hasn't found any rhythm in the last 2 ball games.
Ostrowski, high post for Momo. Momo turns and looks. Waits for a clearer. Hands off to Ostrowski. Drives to the right. Gives it back to Momo. He goes up with a short runner. Scores from 10.
Nice. I mean, Central Connecticut's run that pick and pop, pick and roll extremely well.
Momo has 5, and that's the Central Connecticut lead, 5 points with 16:11 to play. Give and go to Asandiko. Asandiko backs his way in, spins to the left, up fakes, banks it up, won't get it. Rebound Central.
Well, he's trying to draw the foul right there instead of making the shot. I mean, there's nobody out there going to block his shot. He's 7 feet, biggest guy for Central Connecticut, 6'8". He's going to get it off.
Left side, Ostrowski cut off. Top of the key, Momo. Back to Ostrowski. Curls to the right. Stops. Now finds Momo. Back to Ostrowski again outside the 3-point line. He penetrates into the lane. Leans in on Floyd. Flips it up. Won't get it. Rebound for Corey. Corey has the ball up the right side into the forecourt. To our left. In transition. Goes right to the rim. Lays it up over his head. It goes in.
Good move by Corey Floyd. Central Connecticut, nobody picked him up on the dribble. He just kept going, probing, and finally, he's in the paint. He finishes it off with the left hand.
6 for Floyd of the game. Friars back within 3. It's 32-29, 15-19 on the clock. Right side for Jordan Jones. Drives in front of his bench. Pulls up from 16. No, missed one. Offensive rebound for James Jones. Goes back up inside, around the rim, and it goes in.
Well, Central Connecticut, they feel like they can win this game. I mean, they're doing things out there right now. They're very smooth out there on the offensive end.
Abdul Momo has 6 of their 8 here in the half on the inside against the Friars' size. Floyd has it between the circles. Pierre in and out of his hands. Cardette at the right side. Drives down to the baseline. Tries to dump it off inside. Pierre saves it. Throws up the runner to Asandiko, who got it knocked out of bounds.
Asandiko, Sandigo's got to finish that off. I mean, throw that to Oswin. He's dunking it right there. Good alley-oop by Pierre. Jaden say, hey, you got to go right up with that one.
Friars will have it 8 on the shot clock, 14:44 to play, and it's 34-29 for Central Connecticut. Timeout from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball. Man.
I think you got to change it up a little bit defensively. I mean, when that guy, the lefty, comes off a screen, I would like pinch him, make him give it to somebody else. And he's out there having a good time. The little guy, Oskowski, what's his name? He's tough too.
Yeah.
I like to see him change the defensive principles for like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. He wants his guys to fight over the screen all the time, but they know that and they keep getting over the screen, probing, getting in there, and then they're running their offense too simple.
They got to change it up.
Yeah, I mean, the guy got in screening Almeida, you jump him one time and have the weak side come over to help out. Just show them something different so they're not so comfortable running the offense. I mean, they know how they can beat the defense right now, and they're doing it.
Yep. Yep.
I'd take Cadet out too, and I'd put.
New England laborers are training the workforce of today that will build tomorrow. With state-of-the-art training academies throughout New England, you'll be equipped with the construction skills, knowledge, and experience to start your career and a better tomorrow. LIUNA, feel the power.
Well, Friars is 2 for 9 here in the second half, just not letting anything go in. And 6 of those 9 shots have been three-pointers. They've only made 1. I think they need to get the ball inside to the big guy there and let him operate on the post. And then when they double-team him, somebody cut to the basket and finish at the rim. Try to get some scores in the paint, and that'll open up the outside three for open look. I mean, they're not getting open looks from three. They're getting challenge looks. And we talked about this last year, John. They did a stat on open looks from three-point range. The stat is like 41% when guys are open taking threes. When they're not open, they're shooting 23%. So it's a big difference. So if you get the ball inside and get some scores at the hoop, the defense will start to collapse a little bit more to help out, and that'll open up the three-point line. They got one opportunity in the first half. They had a second shot opportunity. They swung the ball 3 times, had a wide-open look at the top of the key, knocked it down. Raheem knocked down a wide-open 3. That's his only shot of the game that he's made, and he's knocked it in. He's in the ball game. Is he coming in right now? Yeah, he's in the ball game right now. I think that's a good substitution to get Cadet out of there. Cardet's having a struggle. He just hasn't fit in right now with the rhythm of the game.
8 seconds to shoot, 14:44 to play. Friars down by 5. Corey Floyd will inbound the ball baseline to the right of the basket. Friars being outshot 39 to 31% for the game. Floyd lobs out to Asandiko. Asandiko comes to the right side. Floyd has it with 4, with 3. Back to the right. Joseph gets off a deep 3. Nope. Rebound. Tapped up and saved by Central Connecticut. Into the forecourt is Devin Head, who drives, banks it up. No good. Rebound tipped out. Loose on the floor, and is taken by Floyd on the sideline. Now Corey brings it back the other way. Right to left in the forecourt. Drives, throws up the runner. Off the back iron. Bounces. No. Asandiko with the rebound. He got knocked from behind and fouled.
One more dribble there by Corey. He could have finished that one at the rim, I think. But I like when he's penetrating to the basket and trying to finish in the paint.
Foul is called on Darren Smith.
Friars really struggling offensively. Only 29 points so far in the ball game with 14-19 to go in the second half.
They're only shooting 29% for the game. And now just 4 for 21 from 3. That's 19%. Here's Abdur Rahim, top of the key, goes left for Joseph. Joseph going to penetrate down on Sweatman, goes right to the hoop, lays it up and scores.
See, Joseph sees Sweatman's just too small for him, and Joseph's not the biggest guy on the floor, but he's much stronger than Sweatman. Whoever Sweatman's guarding, go at him.
7 for Bensley Joseph. Friars back within 3. Jordan Jones with it out in front against Floyd. To the right side, jab step, now penetrates into the lane, gets his man up in the air, got it knocked from behind, and a foul is called as he falls to the floor. It's called on Floyd for a block. That's 2 on Corey. That's 2 on the Friars in the half.
Well, Corey making him work out there. Jones is a very good player. I mean, he's 7 for 13 so far from the floor, 3 or 4 from the line. He's got 17 points.
And he's going to get 2 shots at the line here.
You see, he's comfortable out there offensively. I think what you need to do with him is you got to get the ball out of his hands now. You got to try to take him out of the rhythm. Something. Last year you could put Carter on a guy like him, and he would just bother him. He wouldn't be able to get the shot up. And maybe 2 possessions in a row, he'd rush some shots, and then he's out of his rhythm. Right now, this kid Jones is in his rhythm. You got to get him out of his rhythm somehow. And the way the Friars are playing him defensively, they're fighting over the screens. He knows it. He gets over the screen, and then he just probes until he gets an open look.
Got both shots. He's got 19 points of their 36 on the board. And Central again with a 5-point lead. Their largest lead has been 6 in this game. Floyd right side on the sideline for Fernandez. Out front for Joseph. High post for Sandico. Sandico turns, looked for the give and go. Almost had him. Driving left as Joseph goes down hard to the hoop. Back out front. Floyd got an open look at 3. Nope. In and out. The ball goes out of bounds, and it is off of Providence. Sandico got knocked in the face, and Kim English can't believe he didn't get a call.
Well, Corey Floyd's getting some good looks out there. He made him last game. He was 3 for 5 from three-point range, but he's not making them in this ball game.
Friars are 4 for 22 from 3. That's 18%.
Corey's 0 for 5 from 3.
Right side with it is Head. Devin Head. Justin Fernandez guarding him on the high post for Momo. Momo hands off to Head, gets around the screen, drives down the right, throws up the runner, scores.
Boy, Central Connecticut doing a great job of getting to the basket and hitting good shots.
Quick pass to Abdur Rahim for 3. Off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound tapped out to Fernandez to Joseph. He launches the 3. That's no good. Rebound Floyd right to Fernandez. Back out front to Joseph. Going to try it again. That's good.
Well, good offensive rebounding right there. Friars feeling a sense of urgency out here right now. Not able to get anything going offensively.
They should. They were down 7 just a moment ago. It's back to a 4-point game. 12:35 to play.
3 shots at the hoop that time in the possession.
There's Jordan Jones with it. Drives around Corey Floyd. Uses the screen to the right side. Blocked from behind. Friars come up with the ball. Jabri with the ball on the right side. Doesn't get the break opportunity. Finds Joseph. Gets into traffic. Curls around. Lays it up and in.
Joseph is very good at probing the defense that time. Nice job there on the defensive end by Corey Floyd as he blocked that shot. Friars getting offense from defense.
And a timeout called by Central Connecticut after Joseph scores his 12th point of the game to lead the Friars tonight. 12-18 remaining, and Central's lead has been cut to 2. Friars on a 5-0 run. We got a timeout here. We'll take it from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball.
Thanks.
What was it? Well, Ricky P had him playing. Providence Friar back to basketball. Brought to you by Milton Cat, your Caterpillar equipment dealer for the Northeast. A proud sponsor of Providence College Athletics. John Rooke with Joe Hassett. The Amica Mutual Pavilion in Providence still got 12-18 to play. But Central Connecticut State, the preseason favorite in the Northeast Conference, has a 2-point lead.
You know, this Central Connecticut team, John, they've adjusted very well to the Friar defense out there. and they're taking what the Friars are giving them. You know, we talked about Central Connecticut at the start of the game. They're one of the best three-point shooting teams in their league. This game here, they're 0 for 4. They've only taken 4 threes in the ball game. So they're showing some discipline. The Friars are taking that away, but they're getting around the screens. They're scoring in the paint, throwing those little floaters. On the other side of the ball, the Friars are 13 for 40, and 25 of their 40 shots have been three-pointers, and they've only made 5. The Friars have a size advantage with this team.
They're 8 for 15 from 2.
Yeah, so I mean, and they started off the game 5 for 7. So I think the Friars are settling too much for 3. I know you want to make threes and shoot a lot of threes, but if you have an advantage inside, establish that a little bit more. And I like to see the kid, the big guy, Kreese, get the ball in the post, because when he's had the ball in the post, there's been nobody that can guard him for Central Connecticut.
Well, Sonico out of the game. They brought Arunse back in. Central with the ball. Devontae Sweatman into the point guard. And the 5'8" senior from Boston has it. Basket to our right against Jaden Pierre, who's returned. Jaden drives to the left, Jaden went to the right off of the left-handed dribble. Arunse came up with a double team, and he got him with the body.
Tried to jump out on him on that. I like that, changing it up a little bit on the defensive end. Jones is getting a little rest now with 12 minutes to go.
Arunse picks up his second foul, third on the team. Central inbounds, Devin Head from the left sideline. Again, basket to our right. Lobs it to Abdul Momo, middle of the floor. Momo bounces back to Head, penetrates, dumps it back out to Brown for a deep three. It's no good, and the rebound comes up to Cardette, who's re-entered. Cardette now into the forecourt with it in front of Kim English. Takes the dribble to the center, now penetrates down to the post. Backs it out front for Pierre. Catch and shoot three. Nope. Cardette offensive rebound. Kicks the ball back outside for Joseph. Shakes, drive, lays it up. No, can't get it. Arunse follows and scores.
I tell you what, John, if you just get the ball to the basket, you can score every time. The Friars have great size advantage, especially with Oswin in there.
And we're tied at 38. Momo drives on Oswin, goes up and under, loses it, tries to go up with him. That should be 3 seconds in the lane. It's loose in the post. Brown goes up, and a foul is called.
Man.
A foul on Jabri Abdur-Rahim in the paint. And Dennis Felton is trying to keep Kim English from going out on the floor on that call.
It should have been a 3-second call.
It was 3 seconds. It was 6 seconds.
I mean, he pumped fake for 3 hours in there. I mean, it's good defense by Oswin.
So the foul is called on Bensley Joseph. That's his third. Tough time to pick up number 3. We got officials timeout. 11:19 remaining. We're tied at 38. Central Connecticut going to the foul line from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball.
In 3 seconds. Nice. Oh.
And as you heard, for water, fire, or mold damage, call Rhode Island Restoration, 401-414-1111. Rhode Island's top choice for property damage cleanup and repair. Emergency service available 24/7. Friars on a 7-0 run, Joe, but they've got Central Connecticut back at the foul line to try to retake the lead.
And they never should have gone there. We just watched the video on that. The guy pump faked for like 3 hours in there. With 7 seconds at possession, he was pump faking, and then he threw it to a teammate in the 3-second area, and he had the ball, and then he fumbled it, and they called a foul. I mean, it's just, you can't count to 3. I mean, come on. You got 3 guys out there, can't count to 3.
So Jaden Brown will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. As Bensley Joseph picked up his 3rd personal. That's 4 on the Friars as a team here in the second half, with 11:19 to play. Jaden Brown, 6'8" senior from Providence, and the free throw is good. That's his first point of the second half, just his 3rd point of the ball game. He's 1 for 3 from the foul line. He was 4th in the Northeast Conference in blocks and 5th last year in field goal percentage. Second shot, also good. Got them both. And CCSU back up by 2.
1-2-2.
1-2-2 zone press. Joseph steps through it into the forecourt left for Pierre. Back to Bensley up high between the circles. Transfer from Miami to the right wing for Jabri Abdur-Rahim. Back to Joseph. Penetrates. Gets down the left side of the lane. Kicks the ball out for Jabri. Right side, Cardette for 3. In and out. Won't stick. Rebound tap. Loose on the floor. Picked up by Cardette. Kept alive by Oswin. Now for Pierre. Driving through. Ball in the right corner. Intercepted. Knocked away and intercepted. Taken away there by Jordan Jones.
Well, when you leave your feet to throw a pass, not a lot of good things happen. And Jaden Pierre did that time.
Jordan Jones drive to the right side of the high post from Momo. Abdul Momo. Hands off. Curling to the left is Jaden Brown, and a foul called on Jabri Abdur-Rahim.
Trying to get around that screen, Raheem.
That's his first, but that's 5 on the Friars here with 10:33 to go. Pierre and Arunze come out. Isandiko back in. Rich Barron back in. 20 on the shot clock. Blue Devils inbound the ball into the backcourt to Joe Ostrowski. Ostrowski, who played against the Friars the last time these two teams played back in 2021 as a freshman, drive to the left side. Top of the key for Brown. Shakes right, goes left, and travels.
Well, they call travel.
Yep.
You don't see that very often.
First time we've seen that tonight. The Friars get it on the turnover. That's the 7th of the game for the Blue Devils. The Friars have 13 after they had 11 in the first half and 10 in the opening 10 minutes of the game.
There's a little half-court trap again, a little nuisance trap there trying to take some time off the clock.
Joseph lobs it to Asandiko down low, immediately double-teamed, has to dribble out of trouble.
Oh, my
And
God.
then throws the ball away. Just threw it right to Ostrowski.
I mean, there was 2 guys from Central Connecticut there. No Friars where he threw the ball.
Ostrowski drives left, fadeaway jumper up and in.
Man alive.
That's a huge giveaway right there. And Central is back up by 4. 42-38. Barron drives the lane, back out front. Joseph got an open look at 3 up high, off the iron, bounces, and stays.
Good thing you got Bensley Joseph out there. That's his 6th field goal. That's his 3rd three-pointer. He's keeping him in it.
10.5, 15 for the game to lead the Friars. Back to a 1-point game. 3-pointer left corner, no good. Long rebound, chased down on the floor. Loose, Cardette goes to the floor for it and stepped out of bounds. He skidded out of bounds here on the near side, just across the mid-floor line as he tried to save that. So the ball goes back over to Central.
Well, long shots get long rebounds, John, so the Friars have to box out the shooter, obviously, but you got to anticipate a long rebound. Central Connecticut gets that one.
9:27 left, 42-41. Yep, upset alert is definitely on around the country on this one. Ostrowski into the forecourt with it on the right side, drives toward his bench, stops, goes back left, cuts back to the right, fadeaway jumper up, throws up an air ball, rebound loose, it goes out of bounds. It's going to be Providence ball.
Friars got to do a better job of boxing out on the weak side. When the shot goes up on the right-hand side, Central Connecticut comes flying in from the left side.
Absolutely.
And there's no body on
right.
them. That's why they're getting these rebounds.
The Friars have the ball and a chance to retake the lead. Into the forecourt with it will be Joseph. Right to left he comes. Jordan Jones picks him up on a man defense. Cardette left wing. Bounce pass to Asandiko. Puts it on the floor. Keeps it on the floor. Double team. Spins to the inside. Kicks the ball and throws it away again.
He's doing look-away passes. There's nobody there.
Boy, he is a turnover waiting to happen. Here's Jones, shake and bake, drives right, gets into the lane, backs out against Joseph, top of the key, lobs it left for Ostrowski. Ostrowski feeds the top of the key for Momo, gives it back to Ostrowski, who drives, puts it up short, got a foul. He challenged the big fella inside, and right now, Chris DeSandico is having a hard time figuring stuff out. He got called for the foul.
Yeah, he's had 2 atrocious turnovers. You know, he looks clever with the ball. He's dribbling, but he's got to be patient. What Central Connecticut is doing is when the Friars enter the ball on the wing into the big guy crease on the post, he starts his dribble, and the guy who cuts through comes and doubles him. He stays in the paint there, so he can't turn the corner. And Crease just has to be patient. I mean, if there's 2 guys on him, somebody's going to be open, and he didn't do it. And he's thrown the ball away twice, not even looking for the open man.
Barron comes out, Floyd back in. Ostrowski hits the free throw. He was 67% a year ago. He's got 7 points in this game. He averaged just 4.1 last year per game. And he hits both free throws. And just like that, Central Connecticut back up by 3, and we got 8:37 on the clock. 1-2-2 pressure again in the backcourt. Joseph across the mid-floor line into the forecourt to our left. Has the left-handed dribble on the right wing for Jabri Abdul-Rahim. Goes down low, kicks the ball back outside, goes underneath for Cardette, who scores off the glass.
Good pass by Raheem right there. He went baseline. He finds Cardette. Cardette cut to an open spot. That was a good move by Cardette to get to an open spot to give him the pass.
Just his 5th point of the ball game. The Friars are back within 1. Jaden Brown, deep 3, top of the key, no good. Cardette rebounds and a whistle.
That's just fundamentals. I mean, Cardette, he saw the shot go up and he just looked. You got to box
Another
out.
foul is called on Bensley Joseph. It said he used his shoulder to ward off the defender. What is that? Joseph just picked up his 4th foul with 8:09 to go.
Oh, that's a bad foul right there because he's been the catalyst for the Friars. Jaden Pierre now has to step up and take that role.
And that's a 1-1 now for Central Connecticut. As they're in the bonus with 8:09 left. And at the line is Devin Head, 6'5" junior transfer, and the free throw is good.
Well, Central Connecticut, again, we mentioned this a few times. They're a veteran team. They got a lot of seniors on this team. They've been to that school for a while. They played together 3 or 4 years together. It's not like today's game where everybody's transferring and you have new guys. These guys know each other very well, and they got a great game plan. And making it difficult on this Friar team. Friars just not shooting the ball well. Neither is Connecticut. I mean, Central Connecticut, they're not making shots either. They're 16 for 44, and they're ahead in the ball game.
Second shot for Head is good. Then they're hitting it from the foul line, and it's back to a 3-point game with 8:08 on the clock. It's 46-43. Friars into the forecourt left for Floyd, between the circles for Pierre. Pierre now comes to the top of the key, drives to the left, gets cut off, shares it with Cardette, fakes the 3 to the top. Now dumps it off for Sandico, comes down with it. He's double teamed. He goes up. He can't get it. He got fouled. Double teamed. He went up, got the body. He'll go to the line. The foul is called on Jaden Brown, who picks up his 4th. But that's only team foul 4 on Central Connecticut here in the second half. Timeout on the floor with 7:50 remaining. And this is, let's just say bulletin time for the Friars. Sound the sirens. 7:50 to go. You're down 3 from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball.
They better get the lead here because if this is a close game, that guy Jordan Jones, nobody can stop him.
Nope, that's right.
He's going to have the ball at the end of the game.
Yeah, count on it. If they don't grab the lead by the under 4 timeout, I'm not sure we win this.
You know, when I mentioned to you in the pregame, who do we go to now? Who do we get the ball to? You get it inside. I wanted to get the ball to Crease. He's horrendous with the ball. He throws the ball over. I mean, turnovers are 2 guys that shouldn't even thrown it to. Whew. I think he's, he hasn't played and practiced and stuff, and I think his rhythm is a little bit off. I think he's better than he's playing right now. I think a lot of them are, but now they start to feel the pressure. They're supposed to win this game, and they're in it. And it becomes more difficult to shoot and make plays.
SeatGeek is now the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Providence Friars. Whether you're buying or selling basketball tickets, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek, so Friar fans can fan.
You know, you look at what's going on in the game, John, and, you know, you look at what the Friars have a size advantage at mostly all the positions. You know, Central Connecticut only has one more field goal made than the Friars. Central Connecticut is shooting the ball poorly as well, 16 for 44. The Friars are 16 of 46. Friars are 6 for 28 from 3. Central Connecticut's 0 for 7 from 3. But on the foul line, Friars have been there 6 times and made 5 of them. Central Connecticut is 14 for 18 from the foul line. So they're on the foul line more than the Friars, and a team that is known for three-point shooting, but Friars have taken that away, so they're getting to the basket, shooting their little pick and rolls, and getting in the paint.
So Krista Sandico is going to go to the line to shoot 2. 65% last season. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Tonight has 4 points. All of it came in the first half. Free throw bounces and no good. Second miss of the ball game here for the Friars and for Sandico with 7:50 to go. And I think everything is going to be precious at this stage of the game right now. And the transfer from St. Joe's lets the second one go, and it goes. Friars down 2. Central Connecticut with the ball. Man pressure in the backcourt. Corey Floyd will challenge Jordan Jones, who has 19 points but has been held to just 4 so far here in the second half. Floyd on him as he takes the dribble to the left side. Forecourt to our right. Screen is set. Cuts around the screen to the top of the key. Double screen there. Gets all the way down to the right block. Backs it out. Up front now for Ostrowski. Ostrowski slips to the floor, keeps his balance, drives down, hands off for Momo. Momo penetrates down to the block, turned around with a high arc and jumper, missed it, and the rebound for Sandico.
That was really good defense by Corey Floyd, too. He got the ball out of Jones's hands.
Here's Pierre with it. Goes to the right side for Sandico, puts it on the floor, and that is ripped out of his hands. Another turnover. And Ostrowski just came up and took it away from him from behind. Wow. A lot to learn for that young man. Momo at the top of the key and a whistle.
Well, he had Raheem reaching from behind, grabbing him by his hips, trying to get him from behind. And
that's his second, but it will team foul 8. It'll be Central at the line, shooting a 1-and-1 with 6:55 to go.
They're living on the foul line. Friars 14 fouls for Central Connecticut.
Yep. Darren Smith to the line. 6'7" redshirt freshman from Springfield. Hasn't scored yet tonight. And he still hasn't. Friars get the rebound with Cardette. He takes off like he shot out of a cannon. All the way down the floor. Lays it up. Won't get it, but he draws a foul. Having a hard time finishing, but it's Smith who chased him all the way down the floor to commit the foul.
Cardette, that's those aggressive moves he's made in this ball game, coming down on the fast break. Kim Ingles is out there now. He's going to put Bensley Joseph in the game with 4 fouls. He's explaining to Bensley, say, hey, listen, any kind of foul, you can't be aggressive on the defensive end. I mean, if your man beats you, you let him go. Just stay in front of him and don't pick up that 5th foul. We need you on the floor.
Cardette to the line, 72% at Chicago State last year as he nails the first one. That gives him now 6 points in this game, averaged 18.7 per game.
Oh, this kid can score. He just hasn't gotten into a rhythm yet in his Friar uniform so far.
As one more try here could tie the score with 6:50 to go. Shots on the way. No good. Missed it. Head with the rebound right in front of Cardette. Gets into the forecourt right and Central. Maintains a 1-point lead after the missed free throw. Ostrowski on the right side with the dribble out on the perimeter. He's going to work on Cardette. Spins to the right toward his bench. Works down to the baseline. Lobs it back out front. 3-point stripe for Momo. Momo give and go to Head, who drives inside, lays it up, in and out. Won't go. Rebound tip to Cardette. Friars looking for the lead on this basket. Cardette up the floor to Joseph. Joseph penetrates behind the back with the dribble. Right corner for Floyd. Shakes it. Drives. Gets into the lane. Leaves it up for Sandico, and he missed the dunk.
He put his hand in the basket.
Yep. They're going to call goaltending.
What are you guys looking at? Kim Ingles was yelling at him and put his hand in there.
So Sandico will get credit for the deuce after the defender's hand slipped up. You can see the net. We can see the net. It's all rumpled. Well, so somebody got their hands up through the net, through the basket.
They're going to look at it. The other official, a tall official, came over and looked at it and told Gaffney that
Gaffney just announced,
might have blocked the shot.
it just announced that the basket's good. So the Friars have their first lead since 14-12 in the first half, and we've got 6:16 to go, 47-46.
Well, the defense has led to some offense here right now. Friars have done a good job the last 3 possessions on the defensive end.
And now they got to finally come over and fix the net. There's your proof.
Yeah. Good pass there by Corey Floyd. He did a nice job penetration over there. Hands it off to Priest and went up there and dunked it.
James Jones to inbounds. Friars pressing away from the basketball. Jones inbounds to Ostrowski in the backcourt. He'll work it up against Jaden Pierre. Ostrowski into the forecourt to the right side.
Ostrowski's a good little player.
Top of the key for Abdul Momo. Momo, right side for Ostrowski. Drives to the right. Gets into traffic, gets into the lane, kicks the ball back out front now for Jordan Jones. Jones looks for the drive with 7 to shoot, goes across the lane. Fadeaway jumper is up, short, rebound tip, loose on the floor, scramble for it. Bensley comes up with the ball.
Good on the floor on that one. Great job by Bensley Joseph.
And here's Joseph with it, up with it, gets down the lane, weaves through, finds Floyd, top of the key. Isanico takes the three, misses everything.
You can't pump fake as a 7-footer and then take a 3-pointer. I mean, bad decision right there.
This game has been full of bad decisions, unfortunately, tonight. Here's Momo with the ball to the top of the key with it. Holds on, starts to the right, backdoor. Ostrowski back to Momo. Momo has it knocked out of bounds by Pierre and fouled.
Well, he came across his arms right there. That was a good call by the official.
Jaden Pierre, his second foul, and his team foul 9. So to put Abdul Momo shooting a 1-and-1. With 5:16 to go. Next foul will put them in the double bonus.
They're living on the foul line.
Abdul Momo 1 for 2. Only a 36% foul shooter a season ago and averaging 4 points and just about 4 rebounds per game for the Blue Devils.
This is their 20th free throw.
Momo, shot at the line, is on the way. Good. He's got 7.5, 8 points for the game. This one for the lead with 5:16 on the clock. One dribble, 2 dribbles at the line. He lets it go, and it's good. And Central Connecticut takes the lead with a 36% foul shooter at the line.
How about that?
And they have lived large at the line. They're 16 of 21 from the free throw line tonight. They've outscored the Friars 16-7. Top of the key, Cardette for 3, in and out. And Runze with a rebound, but he had it tipped away from behind and stolen. Long pass into the forecourt for Jaden Brown to the left wing. Brown now has it on the left side for Momo, saves it back out front for Jones.
The Osmond as a freshman, he's got to be able to squeeze that thing hard.
Top of the key for Momo, 4:45 left. Jaden Brown drives to the right side, gets off a hard screen. Jumper up, air ball is there, and saved underneath by Head. Head turns around, jumper off the rim, in and out, and finally Arunse grabs the rebound.
Well, he plays above the rim.
Here comes Pierre pushing it up the floor, 2-on-2. Steps over, got the shot blocked, loose on the floor, comes out of bounds with it. Saved by Ostrowski in the corner. Great defense there by Central Connecticut. And Ostrowski controls it into the forecourt between the circles to slow it down.
Let's pull up and take a little jumper on that move, man. It's just unbelievable.
Ostrowski with Joseph guarding him. Screen set, cuts to the right, cuts back to the left, off the screen, slides down the left side of the lane, turns around, leans in, doesn't get the shot. Momo back out front to Jones, 5 to shoot. Jones drives to the right, kicks the ball up and throws it up underhanded and scores with a reverse hook.
I just said to you, John, in the commercial, it's a close game. That guy Jones is you don't want him that with the ball.
Jones has 21 of the 50 on the board, and Central Connecticut's back up by 3 with 3:41 to go. Driving Cardette to the lane, lays it up, scores.
Good move there by Cardette. I mean, taking charge out there. I mean, he's a guy who can score. He just hasn't had that rhythm in the ball game in the last 2 games. That's a good big shot there.
And Kim English calls timeout, so we'll take it with 3:38 to go. And we could have history in the making of the wrong kind here at the AMP tonight. 50-49, Central Connecticut leads from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball.
Thanks.
Make your home project a slam dunk with Floor and Decor, now open. Shop unmatched selection and get flooring, tile, and wood at unbeatable prices. John and Joe back inside the amp with 3:38 to go. Central Connecticut has just hit one of their last 9 from the floor, but they're living large at the free throw line, and they lead by 1 with 3:38 to go. And Joe, the Friars have not lost to a Northeast Conference team in 25 years. We told you about this in the pregame since they lost to Central Connecticut 54-50 on this floor back on December 21st of 1999.
Well, the score seems to be the same, too.
About
It's
the same.
50-49. Central Connecticut is up in the ball game. Outscoring the Friars 16-7 from the foul line. They're 0 for 7 from 3. I mean, they haven't made a 3 in the ball game. It's a team that's a pretty good three-point shooting team, but they're taking what the Friars are giving them. You know, the closer this game gets, the more that Jordan Jones can take it over. In 32 minutes, he's 8 for 16. He's 5 for 6 from the foul line. And he's the guy that you really have to worry about here. But the defensive Friars have worked on mostly in preseason. It shows on the offensive end for sure, but they need to play good defense here.
Central inbounds the basketball with 3.5 to go. Ostrowski holds it in the backcourt. And you're going to learn a few things about this team over the next few minutes. Ostrowski handles it against Pierre, gets around him to the left side, stops off the top of the key.
Whoa!
On the way, and a foul is called. Cardette ran into Devin Head and put him on the floor. He's going to get 3 free throws.
That's just a dumb foul right
my
there.
Goodness.
He was
gracious.
35 feet from the hoop shooting a fall away.
Oh.
I mean, that's just unbelievable how bad a foul that was.
My goodness. It almost defies description. 3rd foul on Cardette, and 3 free throws now at the line for Devin Head.
I can't believe he raised up to shoot the shot. When he went to take the shot, I said, that's beautiful. Let him take it. Then he gets fouled by Cardette. I mean, it's just not having a feel for the game. I mean, you can't foul in that. That's just unbelievable. You had him going backwards on that 3-point shot.
Hits the first one. Second one is on the way. Been in out and back in again. This young man in Division II last year averaged 16 points per game. Shot 37% from 3. Transfers to Central Connecticut. He's got a chance to give his team a 4-point lead, and he does, burying 3 free throws in a row. He's hit 5 in a row from the line here in the second half. And now, all sirens on alert. You're down by 4 with 3:15 to go. Central's in a zone. Joseph, top of the key with it to Cardette. Looks unsure. Finds Pierre on the right corner. Back to Cardette at the top of the key. Cardette jumps through the screen. Gets down in the lane. Left side for Floyd in front of his bench. Out to Joseph for a deep 3. Good.
Good job by Corey Floyd right there. He drew the defense to him and threw it back to Joseph to knock down the 3. That's a clutch 3 there by Joseph.
18 for Bensley in the game. Friars back within 1. 2:47 to go. Central Connecticut with the ball. Well, we didn't think we'd have this kind of a game tonight for sure. Ostrowski drives to the left. Friars got a D up and not foul. Central's in the double bonus. Momo, top of the key with it. Has nobody to go to. Hands off. Head drives the lane. Throws up the runner around the rim. No! Rebound tapped out. Taken by Pierre. And then he gets hammered by Head on the defensive rebound.
It's amazing they're going ahead right here. I mean, he's looking for the shot. He came off the screen, picked up those 3 free throws, and that time there he comes in the lane. They're running the plays. And
that's just
Jordan Jones wasn't even in the play.
That's just the 6th team foul. But the Friars are not shooting here. They've got possession, though, but down by a point. 2:25 to play. Bensley Joseph will bring it into the forecourt. Has it between the circles. Loses the ball. Jump pass. Finds Isandiko. Now Pierre curls to the left, cuts back to the right. Bit of a double team there. Floyd feeds Isandiko on the post, spins to the outside. Right corner, 3-pointer up, in! Knocking it down!
Bensley Joseph.
Bensley Joseph.
Big hoop right there. That's the biggest lead the Friars have had the whole ball game, I think.
55-53. That matches their largest lead of the game. Central with the ball. Under 2 minutes to play. Timeout, Blue Devils.
Boy, Bensley Joseph stepping up big time here. That guy's been in a lot of big ball games when he played at Miami.
Well, he was in the Final Four 2 years ago, right?
Yep. He hit 2 3-pointers in a row, and the Friars needed to make some shots. Big hoops there.
So 1:49 left. Full timeout here for Central Connecticut. 55-53 Friars. 2-point lead.
Well, now you got to play the good defense. We'll see what Central Connecticut wants to run here. You know, Jones hasn't touched the ball the last couple of possessions, which is kind of shocking. They've given the ball to Head, and he's looking for his shots. He was fouled on a 3-point shot. It was a bad shot. You know, Gaudet bailed him out by fouling him. Then he comes off the screen there and fires up another tough shot over the outstretched hands of Priest there, but they're going to have to play some solid defense on this possession right here. You don't want to give up the lead again. The Friars have battled to get this lead. You know, you look at the shooting percentage for the Friars, they're just 20 of 53 in the ball game, 8 for 32 from 3-point range. On the other side, I mean, for Central Connecticut to be in the game, they're 17 of 53. I mean, that's just ridiculous, and they're still in the ball game. They're getting to the foul line, though. They're outscoring the Friars a lot from the foul line.
19-7 from the foul line. They've hit 19 of 24. Friars have hit 7 of 10. 21 points for Bensley Joseph, 16 of them in the second half, including 4 made threes. He's got 5 made threes for the game. And, Joe, the 21 points has matched his career high in a Miami uniform.
Well, you know, he's been clutch. The shots he's made, too, John, have been clutch shots, too. Those 2 3-pointers in a row, the Friars were down by 4 to get them a 2-point lead. I mean, he doesn't put those down. The Friars are in big trouble. This team's a good foul-shooting team. And they've done a good job, Central Connecticut, of running the clock down and getting the looks they want.
Well, let's see what Central Connecticut has dialed up here after Patrick Sellers called the timeout. 23 to shoot.
It's important that Joseph doesn't pick up his 5th foul either. He's been out there playing with 4 fouls the last 5 minutes.
Ostrowski has it into the forecourt. High post for Abdul Momo. Momo at the top of the key. From the left wing, almost taken away, but Ostrowski has it as he works his way down the lane, gives it to Momo. Jump stop at the lane. Goes up a tough one, can't get it, got fouled.
This official here is going to kill the Friars, man.
Ed Corliss has had some questionable calls tonight for sure. That time Asanico went straight up in the air, didn't even leave his feet. The contact created by the shooter, Momo, and it's Asanico called for the foul.
He jumped right into Asanico.
The foul called on Priest is his 3rd. So Momo will go to the foul line. He's hit 3 of 4 from the line. We told you he's only a 36% foul shooter a year ago, but 3 of 4 tonight. He's got 8 second-half points, 9 total for the game, and a chance to retie it if he can knock down 2 here.
Well, he's a 36% foul shooter, but he hit 2 clutch ones. Maybe he's worked on his free throw shooting this summer.
Momo, first shot, on the way. Got it.
How about that?
Nothing but net.
Gotta love it. Kid's been working on his free throws, and 36% is atrocious. He's 75% so far in this game.
He's been in the top 5 or 7 in the NEC in blocks the last 2 years, playing on the inside. And this one for the tie. Momo, shot is up, bounces, good. What clutch shooting.
Well, you talk about Joseph hitting 2 threes. That's 4 for 4 right now, second half, but no one.
55 apiece, 1:27 to go. Floyd with the ball for the Friars. Off to the right side for Jaden Pierre. Now Pierre well out between the circles. Goes to the right side for Asanico. Asanico brings it over the top of the key. Hands off to Pierre. Pierre starts right, cuts back to the left with 8 to shoot. Slips to the floor and timeout.
Oof. Good thing. I mean, that could have been a travel.
Saved the possession with 7 to shoot. 1:11 on the clock. Holy smokes. 30-second timeout here. The Friars called to save that possession.
Now this would be interesting. Who do you have to go to? I mean, you got to go to Bensley Joseph,
They
right?
have to find him, right?
I mean, you got to get him and have him go to the basket. I mean, when he goes to the basket, he's a good finisher at the rim for a point guard. But also, if you try to take away that drive, he can pull up and take the jumper. But he's the guy right now you got to get the ball to because he's been hitting the clutch shots.
Well, the Friars have made their last 3 from the floor.
You know, another guy too, John. I mean, Priest, you like to get him the ball in the post in this situation, but he's turned the ball over so many times, you're kind of reluctant to give him the ball because you're not comfortable with him with the ball in his hands. especially in this pressure situation with all the turnovers he's had.
He's got 7 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 turnovers.
He has more turnovers than anybody in the ball game at the center position.
Friars have 16 turnovers. They had 11 of those in the first half, 10 in the opening 10 minutes. So 1:11 on the game clock, 7 on the possession. Each team has 1 timeout remaining in the last 1:11. Corey Floyd will inbound it from the baseline to the left of the basket. Let's see how the play call goes here. Floyd will inbound the ball. He's got Head jumping up and down in front of him. He fakes to the left, bounces inside, up and underneath for Pierre, and Pierre got fouled from behind.
Oh, Ostrowski picks up the foul. He thought he had him from the behind there at the block shot, but what an executed play right there. To have the patience to wait for everything to happen. They were trying to get Joseph in the corner here in front of the Friar bench off 3 screens.
Right.
And Pierre was one of the guys who set the screen. Then he snuck to the square and to get the bounce. He was wide open. And he was blocked one behind there, but Pierre gets lucky there. I thought that was a pretty good block.
So Pierre is going to get 2 shots at the line on the foul by Ostrowski. Jaden hasn't tried yet one tonight. He was a 79% shooter a year ago. And it's good. The Friars retake the lead. Just his 4th point of the night. Pierre, 14th in the league in assists last year. 11th in conference games. Second shot, good. And the Friars take a 2-point lead.
That's the guy you like to have on the line in that situation. Good foul shooter.
Ostrowski has to the backcourt for Central Connecticut. We're coming up on a minute to play. The Friars lead 57-55. Ostrowski across the mid-floor line, picked up by Bensley Joseph. Left-handed dribble, high post lob, finds Momo, back to Ostrowski, uses him as a screener, drives to the right, dumps the ball off to Momo down low, gets down into the post, lobs it back out front for Brown. 9 to shoot, 49 to play.
No fouls on him.
Ostrowski off to the left, curls to the left, gets down low, lays it up, missed it. Rebound tapped off the glass. Taken by Joseph. Joseph knocked to the floor, holds on to the ball, kicks it free, picked up by the Blue Devils. Head has it in the left corner. Shot clock got reset. How did the shot clock get reset? Shot clock got reset. I'm not sure why that happened. Did the ball hit the rim? But I guess because there was a change of possession, is that why the shot clock was reset?
Is that a full moon?
I don't know.
I mean, it's
the officials are trying to discuss it now down on the forecourt to our right. The shot clock says 30. The game clock says 32.5. That shot clock should be well less than 30. Even if there was a change of possession. It didn't change a possession a second time. So John Gaffney makes the announcement to the crowd. They're going to check it for time.
Well,
I'm going to guess somewhere around 15 or 16 seconds.
We got blocked out a little bit here. We have fans sitting in front of us now at midcourt, and I couldn't see what was going on underneath the basket.
Now you know why NBA guys move up to the second level, because the fans have all the floor seats now. So it's hard to see down here on the floor when people stand up in front of you. Ridiculous. But you got to make money.
Well, I can't comment on it because I didn't see anything.
Wow.
Sorry about that.
That's how we finally shut Joe Hassett up.
I can't make it up. I didn't
put
see
fans
it.
down on the floor. I love it. So what is...
And I'd like to be yelling at an official right now. Say they blew it, but I couldn't see anything, so we can't say a word.
Well, you know what? Maybe they did this strategically to keep you off their backs. So John Gaffney and Ed Corliss are both still looking at the clock and rewinding it back and forth to see if they can figure out what the shot clock should be. It definitely changed possession. Friars had the ball, and then Central Connecticut got it back.
The Friars have to do drills, though, coming up where when they get the rebound, they have to squeeze it really hard.
Yeah.
I mean, they've had more balls deflected out of their hands than I've seen in the last 5 or 6 years on Friar teams. It's ridiculous. So you get the ball inside, you should never lose the ball getting it slapped out of your hands.
Central Connecticut has 12 steals in this game.
Yeah, I mean, Friars have had the ball on rebounds, and they get the ball slapped out of their hands. They got to do something about that.
So they look, then the officials are still winding the clock back and forth to figure out the timing. I can guarantee you it's not going to be 30 on the shot clock.
James Breeding should really be the official in this game. He'd be happy in this game. It'd be like crack for him. He's getting a lot of TV time.
It didn't take you long to mention him this season, did it?
He's not even here yet.
No. So Ed Corliss turns and looks at the clock, and he and John Gaffney have a private conversation right in front of the scoring table. And now Nathan Farrell works his way in, and Ed Corliss disagrees with something that he said.
Ed Corliss has had a bad game.
He has not had a good game.
Yeah, if he was playing, he'd be like 1 for 9 from 3.
So Corliss comes over to explain it to the Friars.
18 turnovers.
They're going to put 16 on the shot clock. So 16 on the shot clock in the possession, 32.5 on the game clock. It's going to be Central Connecticut ball. They trail by 2.
All right, who does Central Connecticut get the ball to now? I mean, if you don't get the ball to Jordan Jones, if you're Central Connecticut, there'll be an investigation out there. Jordan Jones has been the guy who's been terrific the whole ball game. Jones right now, he's 8 for 16 from the floor. He's got 21 points, 5 for 6 from the line. So you get him on the line, he can knock him down as well.
Central Connecticut, however, has 0 threes, 0 for 7 from 3. Maybe you go for the dagger here. You're down 2. 16 to shoot. Central's ball. Basket to our right. Far sideline. Inbounds comes to Jones out near the mid-floor line.
Corey Floyd's on him.
Jones has the dribble between his legs. Low. Corey's in front of him. Screen is set. He cuts to the right, drives down the lane, leans in, scoops it up around the rim. It comes out. Rebound down to the floor. Friars have the ball. Floyd had it. And a foul is called.
Corey Floyd hit the floor so hard, but he is so strong. He bounces right up. I mean, he was killed on that play, and he gets to go to the foul line.
They still haven't come over to make the call. Foul is called on 23, Jordan Jones, and it will be Corey Floyd to the foul line with 20 seconds left.
Good job by Corey Floyd. I mentioned him, John, but during the course of the game, how he's going to be a good rebounder for this team. And that possession right there, the Friars had 5 guards on the floor, basically. Corey Floyd goes in there and gets that big rebound.
That's the 8th team foul, so it's a 1-and-1 here for Floyd. This thing is not near over. Needs to hit both of these to make it a 2-possession game. 20 ticks left on the clock. Floyd has scored 6 points in the game. And he missed. Rebound tipped out by Barron to Pierre. And then Pierre gets fouled by Ostrowski. An offensive rebound by Rich Barron may have just saved the Friars' bacon.
Well, he didn't even grab it. He tipped it out. Smart move. He didn't have position where he could grab it. He went up in the air and tipped it out long. And Friars get the ball back. And now you got the right guy on the foul line. Jaden Pierre hit his last 2. And he needs to make a couple here.
5 points for Pierre.
Still a 1-and-1.
Yep, still a 1-and-1. The 19th foul, so he's got to hit one here to make it a 3-point game. Pierre's free throw on the way. Good.
Jaden Pierre, 79% last year, as you mentioned, John. He's the guy. If you're Friars, he's the number one guy you want on the foul line in this situation.
Here's the one you want right here. Here's the one you need right here.
Remember Durham we had here? He used to call him the Sandman.
Shot on the way. Got it!
Durham would make all the shots down the stretch on the foul line.
59-55. 18 seconds left. This is the largest Providence lead of the entire game. Jordan Jones in the backcourt up the left side, streaking up the left side against Corey Floyd. Double teamed out front for Momo. Momo back to head, back to Momo again. 8 seconds left. They can't get a shot off. Ostrowski back to Momo. Momo at the top of the key, can't get it off. Jones, fadeaway jumper, air ball, over! Friars survive the battle from Central Connecticut.
Whoa, man, that's a nice win for the Friars. It was an ugly game from both teams. Neither team shot it well, but a lot of grit down the stretch for this Friar team, especially Joseph hitting those 2 big 3-pointers. Corey Floyd with great D at the end of the ball game, big rebound at the end.
That may have been
the best. 4 in a row on the foul line.
That may have been the best defensive sequence we saw the entire game at the end.
Yeah, they did a good job at shutting down those possessions, and they kept the 3-pointer away from Central Connecticut. But the clutch play, John, you got to like. Corey Floyd got a big rebound, big defense, the big shots by Joseph. But Jaden Pierre making 4 in a row down the stretch here is huge.
So Jaden Pierre, big free throws. Bensley Joseph, big shots from outside, and the Friars survive a big scare from a very game Central Connecticut Blue Devils team. Our final score is Providence 59 and Central Connecticut 55. Friars start the season on a winning note, winning now for the 24th time in a season opener in the last 25 years at home. Quite the streak. Now 105-6 over the last 14-plus seasons at home against non-conference teams. But it took a heck of an effort against the preseason number 1 team in the Northeast Conference. Our Santander postgame show wrap-up from the AMP is coming up next from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball.
Man, that was a horrible game.
Terrible. Terrible.
20 for 53, 8 for 32. Central Connecticut was 17 of 54, 0 for 8 from 3.
Wow.
Number 13, Texas A&M loses to UCF. You know what that game reminded me of? You remember the Ryder game in Game 1 the year after in Cooley's last year?
Yeah.
Should have lost that game.
Yeah.
1 by 1.
Should have lost it. Yeah, should have lost it.
We're down by 10 at the half.
Yeah. Central Connecticut was pretty good.
Huh?
They were pretty good.
Oh, yeah. They're going to win some games.
I was impressed. They are going to win some games. (10-2) run. Wow. Did you get a final box? Okay, good.
You got it right here. I gave you one.
Yeah. Oh, is that? Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Hey, I'm talking now, right? Yeah.
It was indeed the battle That Central Connecticut threw on the Friars here tonight in the season opener for 24-25. John Rooke and Joe Hassett back here live at the Amica Mutual Pavilion for our Santander postgame wrap-up show, 59-55. All that matters right now is you start out 1-0, and that's what they do. But, man, what a struggle it was tonight.
Well, when you play that bad and you win, that's a good thing. You know, you're able to gut it out and win a ball game. But, you know, there was enough bricks going up there tonight that you could build another Amica Center. Whew. I mean, there was a big rebounding battle for sure. The Friars out-rebound them 43-33. But, you know, the shooting percentage, both teams were in the 30s, John. 35% for Central Connecticut and 34% for the Friars. It wasn't artistic display on the offensive end. There was one kid who had a great offensive game for Central Connecticut. That was Jordan Jones, and they kind of went away from him down the stretch in the ball game.
I'm not so sure, though, that he was denied the opportunity. I thought Corey Floyd and then a little bit Bensley Joseph, a little Jaden Pierre, but mostly Corey Floyd. I thought did a really great job on him for the second half especially.
They did. He did a really good job on him, and, you know, he made him work hard. He probably got worn out because he was wearing the Friars out in that first half, but he was terrific out there in the offensive end. And then on the other side, Bensley Joseph, who was great for the Friars. I mean, hit clutch shots, you know. I always make fun of people, you know, you make shots in the first half. Anybody can shoot in the first half, but what do you do down the stretch in the last 5 minutes of a close game? Are you clutch or you can't make them? And Bensley Joseph did that. They were down 4, and he had to take 2 3-pointers, and they had 2 offensive rebounds, and he made a 3-pointer off that one. And then he gets a big 3 the next time down and puts them up by 2, which was tied the biggest lead they had in the ball game. And you just mentioned, John, this is the biggest lead they had the whole game, up 4 at the end. And Jaden Pierre, who's an 80% foul shooter last year, 79 points something.
Yep.
And that's the guy you want on the line late in the game, and he knocks down 4 straight to ice the game. But, you know, we talk about Central Connecticut, say, how can you just beat them by 4? But let's let you know, but Central Connecticut State has a team that has 4 senior starters and a junior, and the 50th senior is that kid Jordan Jones. And they're picked to win their conference. They've been the key to them.
They won the regular season title a year ago. They won 20 games, which doubled the previous 2 years' totals. So, you know, these guys, you know,
they're good. But they won 9 road games last year, which is tough to do. To win on the road is a big feather.
I don't care what league you're in. You win 9 road games.
9 road games. But another thing that's different with this team, John, is they don't have a lot of transfer guys, portal guys. These guys have been together now 3 or 4 years, so they know how to play together. They know where each other's going to be, and they played a solid game. Now, this is a team that adjusted very well. You know, they're a team that in the last 10 years under this coach, they led their league in 3-point shooting. They were 0 for 8 from 3 in this ball game, but they only took 8 shots. Friars took 32 shots from 3 and made 8 of them. So Friars kept shooting the 3, and yet they had a size advantage. But Central Connecticut had a good game plan. They played 3-quarter court trap, went back in zone a couple of times, man to man. They switched things up, made the Friars work and think out there in the offensive
switching up
end.
caused a lot of difficulty.
Well, they did, and that throws you out of rhythm, and that's what you want to do. And the Friars didn't get that kid Jordan Jones out of rhythm until the second half. He had nice rhythm first half. He was wearing them out, but that's what Central Connecticut did to the Friars on the defensive end. Got them out of their rhythm, and the Friars just kept gutting it out, playing hard. How about the lineup in the last 2 possessions of the ball game? Friars had 5 guards on the floor. So they got out there, had some quickness, and Barron had a big tip out to get the ball off the rebound. And they made good plays at the end of the game. And as a coach, you look at the tape and you say, we were awful all game. Made bad decisions, terrible turnovers. Kreist had 5 turnovers from the center position, throwing it to whoever knows. But down the stretch, they executed, and that's what you'd like to see.
Well, down the stretch, they also had the bigs out of the game.
They did. Well, would you give the ball to Kreist?
No.
At the end of the game?
No.
I wouldn't let him touch it.
Tonight, no.
I said, no. Just when he got the ball, I was like, oh, please, give it away. Just give it back to a teammate and get out of the way, because you were worried about him throwing the ball away. That's why he wasn't in the game at the end of the game. You just didn't have confidence in having the ball.
It was a 10-2 run for the Friars over the last, I guess the last 2-3 minutes of the ball game to win it. That's really it. Friars made their last 3 shots from the floor. They held Central Connecticut to just 1 of their last 13 from the floor, and held the Blue Devils without a field goal for nearly the last 4 minutes of the game. So it was defense that got the job done, even though they had a lack of offense that almost hurt them in the other way.
Yeah, good point. I mean, their defense was solid, but they made a lot of fouls, though, John. Central Connecticut outscored the Friars by 10 points from the foul line in a 4-point game.
Yep.
They were 21 for 26. The Friars were 11 for 15. but they were able. One silly foul at the down the stretch there, where the kid got 3 free throws. I mean, the shot he was taking, there was a fall away 3 from about 35 feet, and you fouled him. I mean, I don't think he would have ever made the shot, but the Friars were able to get away from that one because they were down. That put them down 4 at that time, and that's when Joseph took over.
Right. I think that, in fact, I believe that was the last 3 points of the game that Central may have scored, and that one gave them a lead at the time. And then the Friars, as we said, 10-2 down the stretch to win it, 59-55. So no, you'll just have to settle for old ugly being better than old nothing tonight as you go 1-0 at the start of the season.
Well, hey, win's a win, as they say. But when you have a game like this, you try to find the good things, but you can go to practice tomorrow and point out the things you need to work on. And one thing they need to work on, which drove me crazy during the game, is they had those 16 turnovers. They had 10 turnovers in the first 8 minutes of the game, but they get the ball slapped out of their hands so often. They got the rebound, and then they'll make a silly pass, but they've gotten the ball. They had 12 steals in the ball game, Central Connecticut. That's just not taking care of the basketball. You have to be have a more sense of urgency with the ball.
Joe, count it: 16 turnovers, 12 steals. I mean, is that 28 possessions of the ball potentially?
Yeah, I mean that's
a steal can count as a turnover, but
that's a turnover. Yeah,
I'm just saying, but still, you're looking at well into double-digit possessions where you don't even get a shot at the basket.
Right, they made up for it on the rebounding side. John, the Friars have 43-33 in rebounds. They both took about the same shots. I mean, Central Connecticut had 54 shots. Friars had 53. But when you turn the ball over as much as they did on silly turnovers, but I thought they had the ball slapped out of their hands too often. You can't let that happen, but especially the young freshman, Oswin. I mean, he's going to be a very good player, but he got rebounds and he had the ball slapped out of his hands, and they were able to recover, get the steal, and score.
There's a toughness yet that some of the young Friar bigs haven't learned and are going to need to learn pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, they have a drill. You see them warming up. They got guys whacking you with foam things going to the basket, but, you get the rebound, you got to spread out and not let that ball get stolen away.
All right, Friars get the W. That's what counts here as they avoid the upset on the opening night of college basketball across the country. We'll continue with more coming up. Our Santander postgame show in a moment from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball. Austin, why don't you, when we do the last segment, why don't you update the scoreboard? Okay. Just step aside and let you do the scoreboard update. All right.
A lot of scores out there tonight, right?
Yeah. We'll see if a coach comes out. I don't know if he's going to. We'll do the box here, then we'll take the break, and we'll come back into the scoreboard.
It ain't just us tonight in the Big East. Seton Hall in a dogfight. Up 1.
Who is?
Seton Hall.
Wow. What did Butler end up doing? They win?
1 by 7.
7? How about Xavier? What are they doing? They're up by 8. Okay. So we got a couple of scares in the league tonight.
Yeah, it's early. Early games.
Villanova by 8 too? Yeah. DePaul's up by 5. There's a lot of time left in that game. Marquette's up big. Yep. Yep. Cam Jones, big night. He's my player of the year candidate. Cam Jones.
Yeah, he's going to be tough to stop.
Yeah.
You can shoot it.
Yep. Hey, what's Bryant doing with Dean? Can you find that one? I sent the crew to do the game tonight in Smithfield. How much time left? That's all right. I know. Sure.
All right, Jaden.
Thanks, buddy. Way to hang in there. Way to hang in there. Can you hear? You got it? Okay.
Go Friars.
Our Santander postgame wrap-up here from the AMP continuing. The Friars a 59-55 win over Central Connecticut. John Rooke with Joe Hassett. Now, I guess the one thing we need to do with Chris DeSantico is, get him to figure out how to hold on to the ball a little bit better, and we'll have a ball player.
Yeah, he hasn't practiced a lot, so I think his rhythm and timing has been off. I mean, has no rhythm out there, and when you come into a ball game like this, the intensity of the game, and that team's a good team, and they took the Friars out of their rhythm, and we have Jaden Pierre joining us on a post game here. Normally we have a coach, but we get Jaden out here tonight to give us a little, you're like the Sandman out there making 4 big free throws down the stretch. I mean, it was an offensive struggle in the game, but you guys played good, solid defense down the stretch to get some stops.
Yes, sir. Definitely not our best game offensively, but I feel like defensively we held it down. We kept them to our goal of shooting under 40%, I believe.
Yeah, they were held to 31%.
31%. So that's, that played a big factor in us coming out and winning this game. And towards the end of the game, we knew we weren't playing well, but defensively we was going to win this game. And we got big stops late in the fourth quarter. Late in the second half. So that's what we needed.
Also,
the stops down the
0
stretch.
for 8 from 3. So guarded the perimeter well.
They're a pretty good 3-point shooting team coming in too, and you guys took that away from them. But it looked like they did a good job of trying to throw you guys off the rhythm on the offensive end. I know early on in the season, defense is always ahead of the offense because, you work hard on defense to get stops. But, they came out, they had a 2-3 zone, then they switched to a man-to-man. They did a 1-2-2 three-quarter court press and just tried to throw you up, and then took a little shot clock time off. Then I think you guys were rushing a little bit on the offensive end, and you're probably tired of practicing against one another all the time. You want to go at somebody in a new face, but the offense wasn't there. But down the stretch, you guys were good in the clutch.
We definitely settled down. We got a lot of experience, I would say. This is my 3rd year playing college basketball. Bentley Joseph, this is his 4th year. He's been to a Final Four. Wesley's, this is 4th year. Corey, this is his 3rd year playing. So, we got the experience. We know what it's like to be in a situation. They did a good job switching up their defenses and keeping us off balance of offense. But I feel like weathered the storm. We got the job done. Now we go back and watch it and take care of it.
Well, we knew practice. You look, a lot of times coach puts like maybe a minute 30 on the clock. You're down 1 and all situations like that. And you've done that a lot in practice, the practice I've been to. So when you get to practice like that, I think, and you get in game situations, the familiarity of what you have to run, I think comes to fore. And that happened in this ball game.
Exactly. And I feel like that's big time on us, just being true to who we are, staying disciplined, staying locked in, executing. And shout out to Rich Barron, that big time offensive rebound on the free throw line.
Sure did.
Yeah, you had 5 guards on the floor at that time, too.
5 guards. Yes, we did.
So can you take us what the difference was defensively? Take us to what you guys talked about at halftime, because kid Jordan Jones is a really good little ball player. He had 8. What did he have? He had in the first half, he had 15 of his 21 in the first half. What did you guys do differently to slow him down in the second half?
I feel like just focusing on our ball screen defense. We threw a couple different looks. Sometimes we hit the ball. Sometimes we switched it. We gave him a couple different looks. And then just ultimately just to contest it. He was taking tough shots, making them. So he was taking the shots we wanted. We knew it wouldn't fall all game. So, he made some big shots, but ultimately you can't win a game like that. So
right.
Yeah, it looked like offensively you guys now you want the half-court offense. You're trying to get guys in their different roles and who's going to get the shots. And it looked like in this one when guys weren't shooting the ball very well and you're a little reluctant to take it, but I thought your backcourt run mate there, Joseph, was terrific. He had 2 big 3-pointers in that situation. But another thing I thought you guys didn't do that I thought you would do is get to the basket a little bit more. You settled for the 3 a little bit more. Did you talk about that at halftime at all?
For sure. I think it was more so their defense. They swarmed to the ball a lot on drives, on anything that came into the paint. So I'm like the play was out most of the times. And we shoot the ball a lot in practice, so we want to get those shots up. But definitely we could have attacked more at the rim and got some more stuff at the rim for sure.
Yeah, when you have so many new guys on a team and you're out there trying to, your roles are different this year. You only had 8 guys last year, and you 3 new guys in the starting lineup.
Exactly.
When you're coming out down there trying to get a rhythm with everybody, that's got to be something that, as a point guard, you have to try to get everybody involved and try to make shots.
It's definitely been tough. I mean, we've been battling injury. So I feel like this week is the first week we really had our whole team there since really the summer, honestly.
Yeah.
So just trying to get everybody used to playing with each other again. I feel like we got a lot of talent. We just got to get guys to be confident in ourselves, be confident, be aggressive, and I feel like it all will take place.
And it's good that you had guys who have experience on the floor at the end to try to pull out a tough one, because this is a game that's not easily winnable for a lot of teams.
Yeah.
I want you to shoot more. I want you to take more shots, man.
I got to get my legs back under me. It was coming.
You
It was
do
coming.
that. Good
Gotta get my
job
legs
tonight.
back under
Thanks,
me.
Jaden.
Yes, sir. Thank
Good
you.
job,
Appreciate
Jaden.
it. All right.
Go.
Friar Jr. Jaden Pierre had 7 points tonight, including 4 big free
Good job,
throws down the stretch as the Friars iced the game away and win it 59-55. We'll take a quick look at the numbers here. For Central Connecticut, again, a team that was 20-11 last year, finished tied for first with Merrimack in the Northeast Conference, lost in the tournament semifinals, but they're the defending regular season NEC champ. So they're picked to go to the NCAA tournament out of the Northeast Conference this year. They had 2 players in double figures, and Jordan Jones, who's their leading returning scorer, preseason first team All-NEC at guard, 21 points. But as we said, 15 of those came in the first half, 6 in the second half. He was 8 for 18. Overall shooting 0 for 1 from 3, 5 of 6 from the line. The only other Blue Devil in double figures was Abdul Momo, the 6'7" senior out of New Jersey. In the middle, he had 10 of his 11 in the second half with 5 rebounds. Darren Smith scoreless with 2 rebounds in 19 minutes. Jaden Brown, the Providence native, 4 points, 2 rebounds in 22 minutes. 8 points, 3 rebounds for Joe Ostrowski. 9 points, 8 rebounds for Devin Head off of the bench. 2 points for Devontae Sweatman.
How about your guy Momo? You mentioned, John, you had the stat on him. He shot 35% from the foul line last year.
And hit 5 of 6.
And he was 4 for 4 down the stretch. So the kid worked on his free throws this summer.
Give that kid credit, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Give him credit. Central was held to 17 of 54 from the floor. That's 31.5%. That's part of what Jaden was talking about. Their goal is to hold their opponents under 40. They got that and then some tonight. And 0 for 8 from three-point range. So the Friars did not give up a three-pointer from the perimeter. But what kept Central in the game and in the lead for most of it, Joe, they had the lead for
most of the game.
30 minutes. They had the lead for 30 minutes out of the 40 played in the game.
You know, veteran teams, I mean, they you know, when they got halfway through that second half, they felt like they could win the game, and that's tough when you're at home. Now you start to feel the pressure because you're supposed to beat them by 20 points,
well,
and then they play tough.
Their free throw shooting did that. That's what they were 21 of 26 from the foul line for 80%, 81%. That's what kept them in it. Rebounding, the Friars actually beat them out on the backboards. 43-33 was the end-up margin there. But Central only turned the ball over 7 times themselves and came up with 12 steals. Got to give those guys some credit.
Well, they got into passing lanes, and they were able to knock the ball out of the Friars' hands when they got the rebound. So the Friars have to do a better job of taking care of the ball, that's for sure.
All right, so the Friars scoring 21 points from Bensley Joseph to tie Jordan Jones for scoring honors and lead the Friars tonight. And that 21 for Joseph, we mentioned it earlier, but that ties his career high that he had in a Miami uniform in the 3 years he spent with the Hurricanes.
You know, when he played a lot of minutes, he played 30 minutes almost in the ball game. He only had 2 turnovers. He had the ball in his hands a lot, so he had a very, very good ball game.
8 of 14 shooting and 5 of 10 from 3. They needed every one of them. 4 big ones in the second half to lead the Friars from down as much as 7 points in the second half. It was a 7-point lead with 13 minutes to go. In fact, and the Friars were able to claw back into it. No other Friar in double figures, however, but it was balanced. 8 points, 7 rebounds for Wesley Cardette in his debut. 7 points, 3 rebounds for Jaden Pierre. 6 points, 5 rebounds for Corey Floyd, who was just 2 of 9 shooting tonight. 7 points, 7 rebounds. But 5 turnovers for Kreese DeSandico. Jabri Abdur-Rahim in his debut, the Georgia transfer, 6 points, 4 rebounds, 1 of 4 from 3. Rich Barron coming off the shoulder injury, held to limited minutes tonight, played just 12 minutes, scoreless, 2 rebounds. Justin Fernandez, scoreless, 3 rebounds coming off of his ACL tear a year ago.
You know, it's amazing too, John. You don't see these stats much, but, you know, it was a lot of a one-on-one game, and, you know, Central Connecticut only had 3 assists on 17 made baskets. That's ridiculous. That's like a rec game. Everybody's going one-on-one. The Friars weren't much better. They had 12 assists on 20 made baskets. So wasn't a lot of ball movement in this one. Guys were just catching and shooting and weren't able to make the shots.
20 of 53, the Friars from the floor. That's 37.7 shooting. So we're just under 38% shooting from the floor. They were 8 for 32 from 3, which is 25%, 11 of 15 from the foul line, 10 rebound margin on the backboards, 16 turnovers. 16 turnovers led to 14 Central Connecticut points, and Central Connecticut outscored the Friars 14-3 off of turnovers tonight.
Yeah, Central Connecticut only had 7 turnovers. That's amazing. When you keep it under double digits for turnovers against that Friar defense, that's very good protection of the ball. They just had struggle making the shots. I mean, they only had 17 field goals in the whole ball game. But I thought the turnover side, the Friars were better in the second half, John. They had 11 turnovers at halftime,
So
only 5
in the second half,
which is that's a good number.
And out of those 11 in the first half, 10 were in the first 10 minutes.
They were. I mean, it was like they couldn't even hold on to the ball. And that's how Central Connecticut got a little rhythm out there and were able to get the lead and kept it for so long. Like you mentioned, 30 minutes.
Well, the official attendance tonight in the season opener was 9,806 in here inside the AMP as the Friars hold off and go 1-0 on the season. That's what you wanted. That's what you get. And now you step on to the next one as you start to just sort of pack things together at this time of the season and hopefully do a little bit about what Jaden talked about. And you got to get these guys playing together again because it's the first time they've been out on the floor with all the injuries that they've had in the preseason this past week.
Well, you're going to see a lot of this in college basketball now, John, because you have so many new guys on teams with the portal and transfers and trying to get in guys incorporated offensively and defensively. You see a lot of close games in the Big East tonight, and there's close games. There are already a couple of upsets. The first game of the year, so you're going to see a lot of this as the game goes on. But as the season goes on, teams will get better and better when guys are recognizing their roles and where they're supposed to be, and that's what's going to happen with the Friars.
All right, final timeout to take. Joe and I back with the player of the game coming up in a moment from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball.
John knows a good player who didn't play, and he's probably not going to get much playing time. Is that guy Mela? M-E-L-A?
Oh, Ryan Mila.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah. Now, this team's too deep for him to play this year.
He won't play?
He won't play. He won't play. Yeah. Yeah, where's the headphone? Oh, you got it? Okay. Yeah.
You want me to just throw it to me?
Yeah, I will. I will. Matt, we're going to let him do the scoreboard, so you know.
Yeah, just throw it to me. You don't have to.
I will. No, I'll throw it.
St. Peter's with the ball, down 3 after 2 missed free throws by none other than Garway Duval.
Oh no.
Oh, man. Yeah.
They lost their whole team, didn't they? Seton Hall?
Who?
They got Wusu back.
Owusu?
Yeah,
Wusu's back.
Wusu,
Yeah,
yeah.
most of their team, though.
Yeah, most of them gone. Yeah.
Nova won by 12.
Player of the game's got to be Joseph, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll do that first, and then I'll scoreboard for Austin.
So 7 other games in the Big East tonight. 7 other games in the Big East tonight besides us.
Georgetown's the only team didn't play?
Can you also update Rhodey, Brown, and Bryant?
Yeah.
All right.
Now, UConn didn't play, Creighton didn't play, and Georgetown. They all play Wednesday.
Okay.
Do you have any kids from your classes on the Dean team?
Yeah. Nobody in the game, though.
Good job by Corey Floyd right there. He drew the defense to him and threw it back to Joseph to knock down the three. That's a clutch three there by Joseph. Right corner, three-pointer up and knocking it down. This is Joseph. Bensley Joseph. Big hoop right there. That's the biggest lead the Friars have had all ballgame. 55-53. That matches the largest lead of the game.
Yeah, Bensley Joseph, he's the player of the game. Our Audi Warwick, outstanding performance of the game. Bensley Joseph, the 6'2 senior from Arlington, Massachusetts, a 3-year transfer from the University of Miami, 21 points. 16 of those came in the second half, including 4 made three-pointers.
And the irony is he's a point guard that usually finds teammates for open threes, and he was the guy receiving the passes from teammates and knocking down clutch shots.
Yeah, clutch. They need that, and it's the older players. Jaden Pierre was just talking about that here in the postgame show. Sometimes you have to know how to gut it out and step it up, and when you have experienced players on the floor in that kind of position, they're the ones they know they got to step up. The Friars had that tonight.
Well, you shoot 34% and you win the ball game.
Yeah.
That's solid,
Yeah.
playing clutch down the stretch and getting stops when you had to.
All right, as we wrap up the Santander postgame show, let's get a scoreboard update. Austin Rooke, what do we got around the Big East tonight, opening night of college hoop?
Well, we'll start with a game that just went final in Newark, New Jersey. Seton Hall 57, St. Peter's 53. Final there at the Prudential Center there in Newark. That one was a tight game in the second half, very similar to this one here at the Amp.
Right.
Let's see what else. Butler with a 72-65 win over the Missouri State Bears. St. John's blows out Fordham, led by 17 points from Simeon Wilcher.
92-60 was the score.
92-60, yes.
Right.
78-69 for Xavier over Texas Southern, led by 21 points from transfer from Indiana State, Ryan Conwell. Another one just went final at the Pavilion, 75-63. Nova beats Lafayette. 20 points for one of my favorite names in all of college basketball, Wooga Poplar.
Right.
Let's see what in another game going on in the Big East late in the second half. DePaul in a tight one against Southern Indiana, 69-66, 3 minutes to go in that one. One other game in the Big East that is currently going on late in the second half, about midway through the second half, actually, Marquette with a 26-point lead over Stony Brook, 25 points for Cam Jones, who, in my opinion, should have been preseason player of the year.
He's my candidate for the honor. He's a good player.
So those are the games going on in the Big East tonight. 7 games other than this one here in downtown Providence, but locally, a couple of other results. We see URI up 32 right now late in the second half against Fairfield at home, 83-51, 18 points for former Rhode Island player, now current Rhode Island player after a year away at Albany, Sebastian Thomas.
Right.
And Bryant with a 83-48 lead over the Dean Dean Bulldogs there in Smithfield, 83-48. But a heartbreaker for the Brown Bears, 71-70 loss in overtime at Siena. Brown had a 3-point lead with 3 seconds to go in that game, and Keno Lilly from Brown fouled the 3-point shooter. Siena made all 3. And then ended up winning by 1 in overtime. 71-70, the final in upstate New York.
They've had some bad luck last year losing games like that.
That's how they lost the Ivy final.
Yeah.
To Yale. They had a chance to go to the NCAA tournament. That's 2 in a row like that for the Bears.
Hopefully they get over that.
Yeah, my goodness. Tough. All right. Oz, thank you. Joe, the Friars ended up getting the win, and that's what counts most. And now they'll move on, and they will take on Stonehill Saturday night here at the Amp at a 6:00 start.
Well, they have a lot to talk about at practice, that's for sure.
Can you imagine?
So that'll be.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go to a couple of those, but
well, you can do that now. You're a man of leisure.
Yeah, I will check those out. But I think they know what they got to work on. They have film sessions and they can go over what they did wrong in this one. But what I'm happy with, you always take the positives out. Is I mention this all the time, John. The clutch play down the stretch. What do guys do in the last 3 or 4 minutes of the game? they execute, they make shots. Those are the guys you want on the floor, and they found who those guys are going to be in this one. I'm sure there'll be other guys who step up down as the course of the season goes on, but Jaden Pierre and Joseph are the two guys that we talked about before the game as being your go-to guys so far, and I think they'll be the guys during the course of the year.
Well, they did combine for 28 points tonight. They just need a little help out there in the offensive end shooting the ball.
Well, their poise too is important, and Jaden's rhythm is off. He's had that groin issue that he had last year,
right?
So they sat him out for a couple of weeks, and believe me, when you're out a couple of weeks and then you come in and play a high-intensity game like this, it's really tough to adjust to get it going.
He did mention he needs to get his legs underneath him.
Yeah,
so,
once he gets that going, he'll be back to his old self. But game shape and practice shape is totally different because the intensity of the game is big, and Joseph was there to make big shots to bail him out. And the big guy hasn't practiced either. Christ, he hasn't played, and he's a guy that's he's gonna have better games where he's not turning the ball over like that.
Well, the Friars, and it will be the Stonehill Skyhawks. It'll be Saturday night, 6 o'clock tip. 5:40 will be the pregame here on News Talk 99.7 and AM 630 WPRO. And if you can't be here for the game on Saturday night, we'll hope that you will join us here on WPRO. Our thanks to studio producer Brett Ferruccio, our engineer Matt Morrell, Austin Rooke with a halftime and postgame wrap-up. And for my partner Joe Hassett, I'm John Rooke. Again, our final score: Friars 59, Central Connecticut State Blue Devils 55. Providence moves to 1-0 to start the season. Stonehill on Saturday. Until then, so long, everybody. Thanks, Brett.
Well done, guys. Have a good one.
Thanks, you too.